abundant. I'm powerful, and I am worthy. Heavenly light opens my crown and my brow chakras. I resonate with the internal wisdom of my soul. I am divinely guided. Thank you, God. I work joyously on the goals that I am planting now, and I appreciate all the support and sustenance that the universe is about to offer me. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for those messages. Thank you for reminding me how often I should use them. Also, I want to write this. Good morning. Sorry, just getting my crap together before I get started, but give it a couple minutes. As I slowly get my crap together, we can figure it out. Good morning, Jane. I just like to say, I always say in the morning or when I get a moment, more affirmations just to remind myself why I'm here and what I'm doing. Thank you for the likes. Yeah, when you like and share, that's wonderful. It's greatly appreciated. I'm great. How are you? And I'm not sure what your name is, Feather Bear? But I love it, so welcome. Daphne, welcome. I'm just doing, I always like to do simple little things like, actually this affirmation I heard last night on another thing I was watching, but it really kind of stood with me. That's fantastic. Every day that we find something good to be grateful on, the better we are every step of the way. The small things, the affirmations, the reminders to the universe. Thank you, Spirit. The reminders to the universe all the time how much we're grateful for. Me and my daughter literally go on walks and we'll see the trees and my daughter will go, thank you, God. Good morning, Liv. When we feed the ducks, thank you, God. Everything we can do to be happy and excited and really truly with the universe, we're grateful for them. I appreciate that. You're very kind. So these are a couple affirmations that I heard on another thing I was watching last night, but I love it so much, so I wanted to share that. One of them was, I work joyously on the goals that I am planting now, and I appreciate all the support and sustenance that the universe is about to offer me. Thank you, Spirit. So when we let the universe know that we are constantly planting seeds of good, and I was just about to say that, I had it typed there. Oh. So we have another one, and it's heavenly light opens my crown and my brow chakras. I resonate with the eternal wisdom of my soul. I am divinely guided. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. And yes, what we're doing is life change. Welcome. We're just letting the universe know that we are grateful and we respect all of the love and abundance and power they're sending our way, and if we're not acknowledging it, then we're not doing, if we're not grateful, things are never going to change if we can't find something to be grateful for no matter what's going on. And if you have trouble like me, always stuck in survival mode, trying to get out of that can be really a pain, and it can be hard, and it's a struggle. So you know, I spend my time, I make my earrings, I make my necklaces, little coasters. These are all things that can be made very, very, very cheap and easy. But taking these, good morning, Lincoln, taking these, 10 minutes aside to do something creative that gets just out of your brain, gets you out of that fight or flight mode, gets you out of survival mode, and allows you to not focus on all the shit show being directed in your path. I make things like the little wands, just helping us align our chakras. And my daughter and I made a Christmas tree. I lost my job a month ago. Thank you, Spirit. Due to no fault of my own, there's been all kinds of harassment, especially when you're leaving abusive situations and stuff. Things can get really out of whack. And I was doing all these things before, but I never really understood what I was doing. But what I was trying to do was take myself out of survival mode and allow myself to get past the negative thinking and programming that has been stuck in my head and literally beat into my head since a small child. I'm fantastic today. I had my moment. I got to have a little bit of meditation. I had time to sit with myself and be grateful for all of the things that I've done. I had things I had to do, some paperwork to get in. The place where I live decided, instead of working with me, they wanted to rush right for eviction, sending me a 10-day late notice on the 7th of the month. When I try to make them aware of things and trying to make arrangements, of course, we have to apply for EI. We're doing other things. And if I'm doing all the right things, why are we beating up and bullying a single mother who's just trying to create stability, right? We can ask the why for a million years, but I could let it put me in fear, or I can be grateful, thank you, Spirit, for what I have. I always do, and I appreciate that. Thank you, truly. So these little things that I make, you just, you can put them in your pocket, you can put them in your purse, doesn't matter. It's about every time you're looking at them, I don't care what level of spirituality you are, it's finding something to be grateful for, saying, God, I'm here to breathe and see this in the moment, thank you. If it starts with just having the breath and the opportunity to make a change every second of the day, there is something that we can find that's going to do better. I could have sat in victim mode, allowing them to continue doing what they were doing to me, or I could step up and fight back. Along the way, at the very least, I'm going to have my day in court, and it has nothing to do with me anymore. Now it's about paving the way for other women, men, whatever, people in my situation that have come into emergency situations like this. So a place, named the Society of Hope isn't using their huge power to waste the court's time, taxpayers' money, to try to abuse somebody. It's just appalling to me. So it's kind of brought up the fight in me, and in doing that, at the end of the day, if I end up homeless out of this, I don't care. The point is, I will speak my voice, and I will stand up for those who have been in positions like that. Because if there's nothing else, I've been taking accountability my whole life for shit that people have done to me and for me, or, I've learned how to change the perspective. I've done the accountability. I've looked inward, and I'm lucky that I have had that chance, because God saved me from so many things. I should have been dead 10 times over, and then some. So I could focus on that and beat myself up and worry about all those things, or I could find ways to be creative and share some motivation and create better habits, because I got rid of a lot of old habits: smoking, drinking, partying, negative self-talk, negative thinking, and sometimes it still comes up. But now I've found ways, my mantras and my affirmations. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Good morning, Larry. But all of that work that I put into myself, when you get rid of these habits, if you're not replacing them with better habits, you leave that space completely open. But until we're learning to be in a place of receiving, and most people, when you're going through healing like this, you're not able to receive. You're only used to people taking advantage and doing damage. So when you sit in that empty space long enough, you can find your way backpedaling and doing other things. Thank you, Spirit. So to help with that, creating these habits are better for us all the way around. And yes, I'm showing up here. For one, it makes me accountable. So Spirit says now you have no choice. You're going to show up. You're showing up for yourself every day, because every time I would do it, I'd get a week in, I'd get 2 weeks in, be doing really good, and then all this chaos would happen. Thank you, Spirit. And I'd be like, that's more important. I got to prioritize that and let all my shit go. Good morning, Jax and Anita. And then I'm back, beating myself up. Why did you do this? You didn't do this, which is not what we're supposed to be doing. The whole point is to be loving on ourselves, forgiving ourselves, understanding we matter and we're worthy, and getting out of the lack mindset. Thank you, Spirit. Because once we're stuck in that lack mindset and that punishment of self and self-sabotaging whole thing, which is a habit all on its own, when we're stuck there, then we're literally ruining our own peace, and we can't have that. So good morning, TJ's wifey. So like I said, I'm a single mom who lost her job and tried, through no fault of her own, trying to get situated and set up on EI while I look for other gainful employment. But I'm taking this time also to love myself and really truly give myself all of that effort I've been putting out my whole life for everybody. Jobs that took advantage of me, people in my life that, I was okay to succeed as long as I never got above them, or as long as I was available to jump for them at any given time. These things are crappy, and it really sucks, but it is what it is, and we can't control other people. What we can control is ourselves and our reactions to it, and how we respond, and how we treat ourselves accordingly. Thank you, John. That's very kind. I'm not about to be, because I'm about to put on my face mask. I made this little face mask, and the reason I did that is I didn't make the recipe, but all my recipes and stuff burned in the fire. I mean, I literally had to start over from scratch multiple times. But this little one is so simple, and it's the reason that I'm doing what I'm doing is so when moms, not just moms, dads, people struggling on a budget, unsure how to find the ways to sit with themselves and really understand that they're worth it. It's a turmeric and honey mask. So the reason I picked this one is it's so simple. You can put it on your face every single day. It's not going to hurt your skin. It's not going to damage you. And for that 10 or 15 minutes, yes, I'm talking and pulling cards, motivational cards. I talk. I answer questions. Thank you, Spirit. But if you're at home doing this for that 15 minutes of the day, you can close your eyes. You can put your little cucumbers on. You can kick your feet up and, imagine being at the spa where you rightfully deserve to be, right? So I made some lotion also for my face to put on after it. It's all homemade essential ingredients that you mostly would have in your cupboard. So we're trying to find ways to do it where no matter where you are, what stage in your life you are, you can take those moments for yourself. So I get on here and I do all the uncomfortable stuff because I have a thick skin, and doesn't matter how many people come on or laugh, I'm not ashamed. And the things that I've overcome and survived my whole life, if I've survived that, there's nothing on this planet that could humiliate me. So, good morning, Mackenzie. Good morning, everybody. If I don't say your name or don't say it properly, I apologize. I will do my very best. I believe names are, especially given names, should have the respect that they were given, right? So I'm going to take a few minutes. I'm going to paint this on, and then I pull some cards, and they're mostly motivational. I answer questions and stuff. The reason I'm where I'm at is because I'm always transparent. I don't give a shit. I tell it like it is, even to my own detriment, because I believe the truth is the truth. And if we can do nothing else in this world, we should all tell a little truth, right? And when we start telling the truth, and we're always telling the truth, even to ourselves, when we're not doing the right things, that means we are taking accountability. And there is no accountability if we can't make those changes, right? So the reason I say this, and I'm so very adamant about it, is because when you come from a life of everybody in your life, only telling half-truths or omitting this or finding a way to try to make you crazy for just being simply honest and loving people unconditionally, no matter where they come from, what stage of life, what their thought process, religion, culture, none of that matters. Not one of that matters. I live by universal law. I love God. I believe in God. I believe in spirit, and I believe that you can't actually believe in one without the other. That's my true. Thank you so much. See, that's wonderful. I have my moments, trust me. But I totally believe that it's the universal law. You reap what you sow. And it's not my job to judge either. So when we're reaping or sowing, if somebody does something bad to me, I'm not wishing harm on you. I don't wish it to go back. Whatever anyone else does, that's their business. It's not my business or for me to judge. But God is the judge. The universe is the judge. So I don't do return to sender. I don't wish bad on somebody, say, oh, they ruined my life, so I wish they would go through that. Because I believe that that's continuing a cycle of bullshit. It's a cycle of pain that we go through enough shit on our own, whether we do things wrong or not. And you have to understand that people on certain points in their journey don't know better. Or if they know better, they're not at a stage where they're ready to admit it because they're still healing. So who are we to beat somebody up that's still trying to heal when we're all trying to do just the same thing, right? So for this little moment, yes, I know. I did such a wonderful job. We're just letting it sit for 15 minutes, right? Now, most of us are imagining we're, at a spa or somewhere wonderful, not sitting here like this. But since I'm not at a spa and I'm on here and I really just want to get some motivation out, get some ideas and some good words that we can think about throughout the day when we're going through these things, and ways to breathe it out and ways to focus ourselves and bring ourselves back to center and understand who we are for ourselves, who God is for us, who the universe is trying to make us understand who we are so we can be strong in every step of the way. Good morning, Maria. And when we do these things, we don't allow these bullies and these people to project what they think or feel about us. We don't allow that. We are truly just letting ourselves, one, acknowledge any lessons that we need to learn, forgive ourselves. Welcome back, Jane. Sorry, I'm going to take you guys for a walk with me because I really just want to fill my tea. I make my own teas. Obviously, budget reasons, I also just learned, like now I make my own bread, we make our own cookies and stuff. It's just cheaper, easier, and it's become such a creative experiment adventure for my daughter and I. It's brought us closer, much closer. Thank you, Spirit. It allows us to communicate better and understand each other. Um, there's less fighting, there's less struggling, and because my daughter has sensory issues, and obviously all of these transitions and traumas I've had to endure and overcome, she also, and you can't hide it from your kids, especially when you're a single mom. When you have to move, they have to move with you. Thank you, Spirit. So when people do these things, they may not think about it at the time, or they may be just so angry they want to punish you, but they forget that, they're punishing the kids, and the kids didn't do anything to them. So they're innocent children that are involved in this, and you can only hide so much, right? And I refuse to. I don't hide things. I used to hide it. I used to overcome that and spoil my kid and do all the things. Welcome, Jesus, or Jesus, however you pronounce it. It's up to you. But I used to try to overcompensate for that, and I would spoil her, and I actually created more damage there because I wasn't allowing her to have those boundaries or create those boundaries within our structure either. So there were so many, thank you, Spirit. There were so many things that were out of balance that trying to bring it back into balance was it was quite a feat, and then to do that while I was still being attacked and just having things come at me nonstop. I had a choice. I could either just bow out, give up, and just traumatize my kid more, or I could stand up, be accountable for where I should have done better, and do better. That's all we can do, one step at a time, right? Nobody's perfect. We're all going to screw up. We're all going to screw up. There's never, ever going to be judgment in here or out of my mouth. Even the people that have hurt me, I don't wish them bad. I never have. I never will. Because I know how it works, and I know that God also tells me when He's had enough and people have done enough damage that He straight out tells me it's not your business anymore, mind your own. I mean, there's been times where He made me cry and said, this is what's going to happen, and that's that, and there's nothing you can do. And I've literally had to cry. But there's how many times did He watch me cry, begging for help, not understanding why, what's going on. And it took a lot to change my perspective. Thank you, Spirit, because I'm stubborn. I'm very, very stubborn. And I'm feisty. And it's actually one of my greatest superpowers. And I didn't really learn that until this year, maybe even, almost a year ago. Probably a little less than a year ago. And I'm 43. So, I've had a lot of trials and tribulations to get me to this point. And I'm okay with that. I honor it. Thank you, Spirit. I honor that. I share what I can. I don't have funds. I'm literally on day 4 of a 5-day eviction notice, trying to fight through the courts and hoping they don't bring it to any more bully tactics at this point. Am I worried? I'm not. I just saw the little orb. Did you guys see that? That's my spirit team. Just reminding me that they're here, always. Confirmation, thank you. They're always reminding me because no matter what, there's a lot of things to be scared of, right? If I was to focus on them. But the one thing I know is the reason I'm here and the reason I'm doing the things that I'm doing is Spirit has me at a point where He's trying to show the world, do the work, be accountable, try to make change. And when you're making change and you're doing the right thing, thank you, Spirit, people are going to show up for you. God's going to show up for you. They're always going to show, okay, I get it. We want those ones. So, at the bottom of the deck, that one. Oh, you, okay. So, Spirit has some things to say today about some truly, truly, truly important things. So we have a reflection, which is important. Your past does not define who you are today. This means a couple of my haters have showed up. Confirmation. Thank you, Spirit. So that means that the message is for them. Close your eyes and take 10 deep breaths. With each inhale, breathe in calm and peace. With each breath, let go of what came before. You are here now. Your path is in front of you. You actively, every single day, you have the choice to make a decision to try to hurt somebody or affect somebody's life, or you have thank you, Spirit, or you have the opportunity to love yourself and be grateful that you have the chance every single day to make that change. So, clearly this is what's starting to happen, and it's okay that they pop in and out, because the whole thing is when they pop in and out trying to bully me, or they're getting smarter though, they don't say too much, so that's good. Every once in a while they don't say too much negative, because it's getting harder to attack somebody that's doing nothing but showing love. So and I've learned, no matter what, it's truly what I feel and what I believe. So at the end of the day, they can't change my core for who I am, no matter how they try to sway it, because I know at the end of the day, God has my back, my spirit team has my back, my ancestors, my angels, an entire team. Thank you, Spirit. 10:44 on the clock. They have my back, and they don't play about me. They let me go through things because they know I can handle it, for one. They've seen me overcome more things than most people can even comprehend. And at this point, I just do it with ease. I just sit back and say, okay, what's the next one? Thank you, girl. I appreciate that. Welcome, Kyle and Meg. So, I truly believe when they put me in these situations, and obviously Spirit hasn't put me in all these situations. He gave these people opportunities to learn the lesson and understand what they were doing. But people are stubborn, and I know, because I was stubborn for a long time too, and I didn't listen. So a lot of the things that happened to me was because my dumb ass didn't listen. And thank you, Spirit. I was being stubborn and didn't want to hear, or I was fighting what I was supposed to be doing. So I know we all go through those stages, which is also why I don't judge. But every single moment they come in, they have the opportunity to just hear something, and even if they hear one little sentence, and it sparks something, it's called planting the seed. So I show up here every single day, and I plant the seeds for those that show up. Thank you, Spirit. And even if they show up for this much, then tomorrow they show up for this much, then they skip a couple of days and they show up, and now they're there for 5 minutes. There's messages getting through, and if you can't listen to me directly, and you have to listen to me on here by showing up, throwing out a snide remark or some way to get something, thinking you're going to hurt me, you're not going to hurt me. I've overcome every single possible thing that there is to overcome. Thank you, Spirit. You can't hurt my feelings. Truly, truly, you can't. And I don't wish anybody bad for trying. I have my own struggles, and I focus on them, and then I fix them, and I overcome them. I heal those situations. I mediate those situations. I understand both sides of the coin, and then the third side, and then the story underneath that. And that's the only way that we can really, truly start to work together. There's never just two sides. There's his side, her side, then the truth, right? And then the truth beyond the truth, and then the other perspective from somebody who walked by and was not there. There's always a different perspective. There's always another way to look at it. And when we start looking from these different perspectives, it's a lot easier to create change in yourself. And when you create change in yourself, that's when you start creating it outward, right? And reflecting it back out. Thank you, Spirit. And it all starts with small little changes like this. A small little, I love me, and I'm going to show up for me, no matter what chaos they put in my way. Because at the end of the day, me showing up for me reminds me that The one person, like human, that's going to always have your back, and that's yourself. You show up, and you've showed up for you every single step of the way. I don't care who you are. If you're still alive today, you've showed up for every single issue, every single problem, every single struggle. You've showed up for yourself. At the end of the day, which means you have an 100% success rate. Do you understand? You are a professional at whatever it is, because you show up. Now you show up for other people, probably just as much or more than you do for yourself. So if you started applying half of that, even half of that, and putting it back into yourself, then you're filling your cup to the point of overflow. Because your heart, if you're giving that much already to other people, you know your heart's big, and you know you just love people, and you want to do the best, and you just don't want to be taken advantage of. So when you start to create those boundaries and start to focus some of that back in on yourself, that's when you allow yourself to truly open your heart and give, but you're giving from an overflowing cup. And when you do that, it doesn't hurt you anymore, and you become this unending well of love and strength. It's easy to not worry about being burnt out. It's easy to take these struggles and these attacks when people do something to absolutely try and undermine your stability or your security, especially big companies. Big companies, thank you, Spirit. Big companies, put narcissistic people on, and I don't believe narcissistic people are throwaways either. So when I say that, I don't believe anybody's a throwaway, and I don't believe anybody's worth nothing. I believe that we all have deal with hurt and pain and struggles in our own way, and it's usually the way we're taught. Right? It's usually the way we're taught, or the way we've seen it, or had no choice. Thank you, Spirit. We don't control that. As we get older, we control that, because when we know we can do better, it is then our job to do better. So when you're doing those things and making that attempt to do better, that's when challenges come out, because they're going to test your commitment. That's when these times come and you're not sure what to do, or you're angry. Like, I'm angry. I'm angry for all of the things, not just for me, for all of the people that I've had to encounter, these shitty people in these positions and they're not shitty people either. They're just, doing their job, or don't care about the end results. It doesn't matter to them, whatever. And it's very easy to hyper-focus on your own trauma, your own worries, your own everything else, and just tune out everything else and not give a shit what happens to anybody else, because you're so focused on yourself. And that becomes actually a hindrance, and it hurts your elevation. It hurts your ability to go within, and it hurts your ability to heal yourself and forgive yourself. And that's when you really start sabotaging your own life, your own job, your own everything. And when they put narcissists in these power positions, instead of those powers, those checks in updates and starting to, they have these policies and processes that they're supposed to do. Well, everyone starts doing them except those people. And when those people stop doing it, because they think they're above the law, or the policy, or the whatever, that is unfortunately very much a narcissistic stereotype, but it's true, and that's how it happens. They don't care about anything but that. Thank you, Spirit. And until they get to that point in their life that they are starting to look inward and fix themselves, it's not going to change. And those people are going to end up putting your companies out of business. They're going to get rid of your employees, the people that have been there 20, 25 years that give a shit and want your company to succeed. They're going to run them out, and you're going to be stuck with a bunch of people that can't even, that one, don't give a shit, won't show up for themselves. Good morning, Anthony and Bree. And when you allow those people to run rampant without doing your due diligence as an owner, as the boss, you need to go check on these things, and you need to confirm that these people are doing the jobs properly, taking their position and understanding what it is and doing it with honor, integrity, and decency. Thank you, Spirit. And if you're not doing those, then your honor and integrity also leaves right with everything else when it goes, right? And you don't want to do that. So that message is for business owners, but it's also, it's really much more important because being a single mom on day 4 of a 5-day eviction notice, when they started sending this stuff out, the 10-day notice on the 7th of the month, there's things that they're doing that's literally about fear and bully tactics, and it's not okay, and I'm never going to be okay with that, and I always, always, always do the work, right? I show up, I defend those people, I just never defended myself. So now that I know that I can, and I'm very good at it, that will never stop. And now that I understand how much I love myself, I'm going to teach others to do that. Thank you, Spirit, so they can consistently do that for themselves. I see, and I have another one of my haters. Good morning. I'm glad that you showed up. And I know you're starting to miss me. That's the best part, because you come back every single day, because there's just a little message in here, and every single day, as much as you want to hate me, I'm kind of growing on you like a little fungus, full of love and self-love. So thank you, Spirit. Whatever it is that you want. Gorgeous. Oh, I love that. Thank you. I have my moments. Is it the yellow? Is it the mask? It's got to be the mask for sure. But yes, I'm okay. I can have fun. I'm very facetious, and I love to shit talk. So, not about people, but I'm all about the sarcasm, the humor that will never change. Sometimes the cynicism. Now that I understand, thank you, Spirit. And it's okay to have a little laugh sometimes, as long as it's not at others' expense, right? So, oh, you like my mustache too? I know. I missed you, actually. Will Amber leave the company in Jan? Well, I can pull a card. Spirit, do you want me to pull a card for these people? Is that what we're going to do? No, they miss me, and it's okay, Anthony. They show up every day to bully me. Thank you. Okay, I'll pull a card. They show up every day because they miss me. They really, really miss me. So you have to understand, it's getting hard to hate on me. It's getting harder to show up and hate on me because they are so happy to come see me that they show up and they leave, and they show up and they leave, and they get a little message, and that little bit of love is just starting to wear off on them. Thank you, Spirit. It's getting so much harder. My mustache I will save just for you, but don't worry. And when I shave it, you can have it. Until then, it's mine, and I'm gonna love it. Thank you. Okay, SS. Will Amber leave the company in Jan? Spirit, what do we think is gonna happen? I don't know who Amber is, so... Well, we got... crisscross, I understand. No. So, what I'm getting from that is something trapped, restricted. You're worrying about something that you maybe don't need to worry about. It's not your, I don't think it's your problem. And when you make something not your problem, and you worry about that, you're not focused on your own stuff. And what we need to do, and part of this self-healing, self-love journey, thank you, Spirit, is staying in our own lane. The Queen of Petty. Ooh, I love that. Oh, it's okay. We're not trying to boot them out. We're letting all the haters in, honey. And the reason I let them in is because we're going to take just one moment to reflect. Because we really, truly have to think about this and think about it from a higher perspective. I have 1, 2, sometimes up to 5 or 6 people coming in at a time. I am not a very serious influencer. I am not a $1 million mansion, doing the thing influencer. So if I'm not speaking the truth, and if I'm not telling it like it is, and giving the things as they need to be said, then why would people waste so much time to come out of there to try to embarrass, shame, or humiliate me? Thank you, honey. I appreciate that. Good morning, Isabella. So you have to laugh. And when people start being confused about your power and not understanding who you are, where you come from, and how much single-handed power we have in our own right when we start to truly go inward, and when you start dealing with those shadows, thank you, Spirit, no matter how ugly they are, when you deal with attack after attack after attack after attack, that they're just become like gnats. Literally, they become like gnats. And I've had dreams where I'm literally just like, stop bothering me, you're annoying me. It gets to that point. The difference is I could be like that and I could stay close-hearted and just be like, oh, you're evil, you're an asshole, you're cruel. I could do that, but if I do, and sometimes Spirit wants me to, so let's not get it twisted. Sometimes they want me to be more mean, but if I do that, then it hurts myself. It hurts me, right? And at the end of the day, I love me, so I don't want my reaction or my fighting with them to hurt myself because I'm trying to get even with somebody, because they keep showing up. That means they keep getting a little message. It's the same ones over and over. That means they're starting to like it, and it means they're starting to become my fans, and they're starting to get the message, and they're starting to want to do good things for themselves. Do you see? That's why I let all the haters in. I have a thick skin, honey. Ain't nobody gonna hurt my one feeling. Don't worry. I'm here. I could share. Thank you, Spirit. I could share it. I could hashtag a million other things and have a million followers in a week if I wanted. The reason I do it like this is because the people that show up for me are my true friends, for one, or my true haters that will end up being my true admirers at some point. But the people that are showing, I know people's intentions, and I learn people's intentions through their actions, right? And thank you, Spirit. And when people start showing up to me, there's no hashtags, there's no forced anything. Good morning, Caleb. Thank you so much for the gifts. That was very sweet. And Short King, thank you. So when they come to me, they're coming in their own right. That means I showed up on their For You page. That means there's a message that they needed to hear. That means that these are possibly my spirit team, my soul tribe, right? That means I'm literally attracting instead of chasing or running after or fighting for. Me just being myself is attracting the people that are meant to be in my life in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's for a moment or for life, they're meant to be in my circle, and they're meant to hear a message. Thank you, Spirit. 11:01 on the clock, confirmation. When I'm on point, Spirit makes damn sure I know. And that keeps me on my toes, it keeps me honest, and it doesn't allow my integrity to sway, because I believe so wholeheartedly in the message that I'm putting out that I don't care who shows up. I'm putting it out for myself and for anyone that needs that little message. But first and foremost, thank you, Spirit. First and foremost, it's for me. As I help me and create these better things for myself, I'm helping people along the way. And when it's time for them to show up and get their message, they're going to be ready for it. They're going to show up, and that's when things are really going to change, right? But when your commitment's being tested, okay, through any struggle, when your commitment's being tested, thank you, Spirit, I'm not showing up because I want 1,000,000 likes. I'm not showing up because I want 5,000,000 roses and gifts, or I don't even know what they all are. I'm showing up because it's something I believe in so wholeheartedly that if I never made a penny off this a day in my life, I'm still going to show up because I believe that women, men, people that just have no idea, are so lost and just don't know even where to fucking start. Literally, it can be something so simple as this. So simple as this. Just the start. And then a little bit of motivation. One card or one affirmation away from making a fucking change in your life. Do you understand how much change we can create? Because if I make one little change in thought process with you, and you start changing, thank you, Spirit, and then your people around you start seeing change, and you just pique one person in your circle, in your area's interest, and they start to change. Now you've got a circle that just keeps expanding out, and just by me showing up, no matter what, I'm changing 10,000 lives, you know? I'm showing people that there is a way. So eventually, when I do get to the point, thank you, Spirit, when I have, 10,000 followers and can get subscriptions and really create content that allows me to do those things that really help and that I can put out there to help everybody all the time, it creates those possibilities. But imagine when you have that many people showing up. Now you're that one that stretches out to 10,000 now is 100,000 stretched out to 10 million, and the actual the limit, there is no limit. Like, it's endless. The possibility and the amount of people that we can help just by me showing up with a couple of people popping in and out. They're not gonna come in and thank me. They're not gonna, and maybe some will, but it's not for that. And I'm doing this because it's something I believe in, and so thank you, Spirit. And when you believe in something so deeply, it's a passion. And when it's a passion, then it's something that whether you get paid or not, you're gonna show up to do. And that's how your commitment is tested, because when it's something you believe in and you're showing up every day, no matter what happens, no matter the bullies that come out, no matter the people that try to stop you, you teach the bullies too, and they start to like you. Thank you, Spirit. And that's already happening, and it's funny. And then you got to think just for 1 minute, if I'm speaking lies or bullshit, or have some ill intent in my heart, why would so many people be coming trying to hate somebody that has 1 or 2 people pop into their life? I don't have 100 ever. I don't even think I've got over 20 viewers in once. I don't even think I've got over 10 at once. So, what would they be scared of? Why would somebody want to shut me up? People only try to shut people up when they're telling the truth. So when we learn that and we acknowledge that, and when they show up, you don't turn them away, you don't shy them away, you show them more love and acknowledge them and let them know that you love them regardless of what they do. And then when you do that, you create a safe space for them. And even when they try to, yes, a safe space for even the bullies, but then what happens is when they're trying to come in and humiliate you or shame you or embarrass you, they start to realize how safe they feel every time they come. And when they start to do that, it gets harder and harder for them to abuse you. It gets harder and harder for them to insult you, because truly they admire you. And the reason they admire you is because I could fight back. I could call them names. I could wish evil on them. I could just whatever. I could just say the worst things. But I'm only hurting myself, and I'm only just perpetuating the same thing. There's going to be some form of punishment for you if you mistreat me, or that makes love conditional is the best way to put it. So when I give my love to whoever and everybody, thank you, Spirit, I truly give unconditionally. I give from a space of this is what I have, and I'm giving it to you out of my overflowing cup. I will not, I have boundaries now. I know how to give love truly and wholly with no expectation. I don't expect donations. I don't ask people to donate. Sometimes I'll be like, if you feel like sharing the live, or I'll be like, thank you for sharing the live. Thank you, Spirit. I say thank you for gifts because that's what we would do, but I don't say, if you like this, gift me. And I'm not shitting on anybody's, how they do their thing by any means. I don't think I'm better or any of that. That's what I believe, and maybe that'll change as I'm supposed to monetize it, or I'm supposed to say things, more. I don't know. Spirit said that was a confirmation, so we'll see. I don't know, but right now, what I know that I believe is, when I give love, I give it from a space of unconditional love, and I don't not love you when you're mean to me. Am I gonna just sit there and let you abuse me? No, but there comes a time where you have to create that boundary. But if you're coming in with one sentence or something and trying for a moment, you're not trying very hard to abuse me. And if that's all you got, then obviously if I choose to pick that up, then that's on me. Period. Right? That's not on them. That's on me. If I think that insult or attack, emotional, whatever it may be, if I think that fits me and I choose to pick that up, then that's on me. But if somebody is, when I was in defend myself mode and fight or flight mode, survival mode, I always felt like I had to defend myself. And a lot of people would tell me, and I didn't understand because I lived my whole life that way. I had no idea because I didn't know myself, because I was always stuck in survival mode. I didn't even get to know myself. So these times, thank you, Spirit. So these times that I get to spend with myself, and I spend these moments with myself too. I'm just on here now. Thank you, Em. That's really kind, and I truly hope the same for you and your day. But in learning that, those moments myself, I understood. I started to get to know myself, and I started to recognize my strengths and the beauty that I had, as within, so without, right? And it's easy to not believe in yourself, or not think you're beautiful, or not think, you're worthy. It's easy, because there's enough people in the world that'll beat you down, and if you allow it, then you just get upset and you start taking up that torch. Well, they stop beating you up, so I haven't done enough, so let me just go and find a way to insult myself or sabotage my day at 11:10 on the clock. Thank you, Spirit. And I did that for a very long time. I was so very deeply programmed that you don't have to worry. You could take a vacation from attacking me, because I was just going to keep on going at myself. I picked up that torch for you. So once I learned that I could set that torch down, and I got to look at myself every single day in the mirror and see who I am. Thank you, Spirit. 11:11 on the clock. And who showed up for me every single day, all day, every struggle. And you know what? I overcame every fucking one of them. That means I am a professional. I am an expert. And I am an expert on many things. I used to say jack of all trades, master of none. And although I would love to master a million things, it's still 11:11 on the clock. Spirit is not playing with me today. I used to just, think, I'm never going to master anything. And I used to actually think that was a bad thing. And then I learned that jack of all trades means I'm learning some of everything. And that means I never think I'm perfect. I never, no matter what, think I'm perfect. I'm always open to learning. Thank you, Spirit. And when I'm open to learning, there's open to conversations that keeps me at a place where I'm at an even stage with everybody. I'm never better than you. I know more than you. I'm sharing ideas. We're working together. We're finding solutions. We're finding compromise. We're doing those things, but not compromising our own boundaries and our ethics and what we believe and our integrity. Thank you. Good morning, is Isla or Isla? Sorry if I mispronounced that. But, in doing that, these things that we do for ourselves allow us to remind ourselves just what we're worth. And when we learn to do that, then that's when we really start to create change within ourselves. And that's when we have the strength to go deep and do that ugly soul searching. And yes, it's ugly, and you cry, and you're a pile of, thank you, Spirit, you're a pile on the floor, snotting, crying. It ain't cute ever. But when you come through that, and yes, there's many, many levels, so it's not just one level, and it's not something that, one bout of soul searching is going to cut it. It just never will. And like I said, my beautiful face mask is such a bright light, but now when I'm taking it off, I'm just waiting for the water to warm up. But this is the time that I spend talking to God, being thankful, being grateful, and acknowledging myself and telling myself how beautiful I am, how strong I am, what an open connection, an honest, integral connection I am to Spirit. And then today I'm going to keep it simple because I could go on forever, and then I start, I'm not sure which one to say, or I'll overthink it sometimes even. But I think that sometimes it's just simple as more, right? When you know what it is and you're clear about it and you practice those ones and you're good with those ones, then you don't have to fear and you don't have to worry about misspeaking, or it's easier to get more confident in how you're doing it also. So, I'm abundant. I am strong. I am powerful. I am happy. I am grateful. I am loving unconditionally. It's such an easy, anything I am. It's empowering. It reminds us what we're going to be, and it sets the intention for the day. So it allows you to say, no matter what, I already committed to this. I committed to myself to this. I already thank the universe for allowing me to have all these wonderful things. And when we do that, we remind ourselves just how grateful we are, and we should be grateful for every damn thing we can possibly imagine. And when fear creeps in, and when all these things, negative mindset that have been drilled into our heads our entire life, creeps in and tries to sneak around and say, you're not going to make it, this isn't going to happen, no one gives a shit. You know what? I don't care if one other person on this planet gives a shit. You know what I do care about? I care about God knowing that I'm here and I'm showing up and I'm doing exactly what He asked me to do. I care about my spirit team that has my back every single day, that never lets me completely fall. They never let me crash and burn. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. They let me learn the lessons, because we all have to learn. And free will. They don't force me. They wait there patiently until I show up, asking for clarity, asking them why, asking them to explain that to me. And they do. And they patiently do. And they cheer me on every step of the way. God lets me know. The universe lets me know. My spirit team. Thank you, Spirit. And every single time that I am right, I'm on the right track, I'm telling the truth, I'm tapped in, you hear it. You'll hear the ding. And every time when it's something that's important, it needs to be heard. Also, I am very much heart-led, so I'm also led by angel numbers, and thank you, Spirit. And when I'm speaking on them and I'm on the right track, or I'm very on the message that they're wanting me to give, they make sure that I know, and they make sure they confirm it with not only me, but the people that come in. And every time they hear those dings pop up when I'm speaking the truth, they know it's confirmation for them as well as me. And they do that because they're letting me and the world know, thank you, Spirit, that they have my back, and I'm speaking the truth, and that everything that I'm speaking is coming from my heart, truly being given with love. And I'm laying it out for you to choose whether to take or not. It's not up to me. I don't control what you do, and I don't judge what you do or don't do. If you choose to take it, that's wonderful. If it helps you in any way, shape, or form, it makes me happier than you could ever imagine. Thank you, Spirit. If it doesn't, and you think it's all bullshit, and you hate my guts, well, that's your choice too. But I'm not going to take it personally. And Spirit has taught me that no matter what, at the end of the day, if we're putting our best foot forward, and if we're doing what we can, we're speaking the message out. We're not gatekeeping secrets. We're not doing something that tries to make us better than another person. Thank you, Spirit. When we're doing these things to show simple ways that we can show love and compassion for everybody else, and allow anyone and everyone to have a voice, and ask questions and have those conversations, we create the possibility of so much connectedness and so much unity, and all this other religion and bullshit and separation and culture and what am I trying to say? Economical separation, right? Like rich, poor. Like there's just a million stereotypes and boxes that everyone's putting themselves in, willingly and unwillingly. And when we get out of that and we start realizing that we're all one, connected, we're all a part of this one connected universe. And when we work together, and we find ways to go inward and look at ourselves and heal ourselves, then we become even more connected, and it's easier to heal. And we're not just healing ourselves, we're healing all those people we're connected to. And the more we go inward and the more we heal, the more we mirror that out. We're projecting that out. So when you project kindness out, kindness is going to be reflected back at you. And yes, sometimes if you're not, because they're still coming from a place of fear or anger or hurt that they're not ready to deal with. But then you learn very quickly not to take that personally, and understand that you've done everything from your best intention, and you let it go, right? Like, we can pick that up and really let it hurt us, or we can just, smile it off and show them a little love and kindness. And even if it takes 10 years down the road, they're going to be like, thank you, Spirit. They're going to be like, I get it now. And that lady that smiled, the one I thought was crazy, and that one, and that guy who helped me with my groceries, and I thought he was trying to rob me, and like all of those things. There comes a moment in time where that aha moment is so great and so substantial and so life-changing that there's no other option but to go to God. Thank you, Spirit. 11:21 on the clock. There's no other option, right? You can't believe in miracles. You can't not believe in miracles when you are seeing small little ones every single day, even if you weren't sure how or how to accept them, or you had some filter blocking them out. You didn't know how to be grateful for them so you could create more of them. So when you get to that point, thank you, Spirit, when you get to that point where finally your eyes are open and you see them just flooding in, and it's like, and Spirit don't play. So once that brain is open and you're understanding even just a little bit, they're going to remind you of all those small ones, and they're going to come in, and it's going to be like, maybe you're not going to see those people ever again in your life. But you're going to have that reminder of that person that did this and that did that. And they're going to remind you, and they're going to show you how simple and easy you can make a change. 11:22 on the clock. Thank you, Spirit. Those are master builder numbers, which are anything and everything you do, we can master. And we become a master in our own right every time we survive, overcome, and succeed through these trials and tribulations. And we do that with the help of God and the universe and our spirit team and our own self. We can't forget to thank ourselves and show up for ourselves. Thank you, Spirit. And when we become those masters of our own life, of our own area, of our own body, our own temple, then we really start to create change. And the ascended masters and master builder numbers are just so that we understand that, the only true thing that we have to master in this entire world is our own self. How we react, our thoughts, thank you, Spirit, how we treat ourselves. Because when we treat ourselves with kindness, it's a lot harder to treat others bad. How can you treat somebody bad when it's just, you're going to feel it. It's going to hurt yourself. At the end of the day, you're hurting yourself no matter how you do, because you put out shit, you're going to get shit back. So, you reap what you sow. Treat people as you want to be treated. I don't care what story you go to in the Bible. I don't care what religion you are. If you boil it back to the very basic moral code, the details of their story, the ethics of it, it's always showing you your true north, and that is universal law, and that is you reap what you sow. What goes around comes around. Everything's in cycles and in the ebb and flow. If you fight it, everything you fight is going to grow, right? What you pay attention to grows. So if you want to fight and struggle, you're going to fight and struggle. If you want to release and allow it to come back to you, you're attracting it, and you're working with the universe. That's when we start co-creating our universe, and that's when we start taking part in being the main character in our own life. And I know people say things like that are cliche, but we always did it to a certain extent, but I don't think we understood what we were doing, thank you, Spirit, and how to maintain that. Because when you let people in your life that take away or detract attention from that, or take your focus away from yourself and your goals and those things, and focus on them, then you're giving your power to them, and that power that you should be focused on healing and helping yourself then gets wasted on people that don't give a shit or take advantage. And that's when all these resentments, thank you, Spirit, that's when these things come in, and that's when we really but people do that, right? And that's not, there's not a purpose for it, okay? Sometimes there is, and they do it intentionally to hurt you, like they've been hurt. But they're not doing it, good morning, Thor. They're not doing it mostly because they know better. They're doing it because it's how they learned. That's how they were taught to deal with things. Thank you, Spirit. That's how they were taught to react. That's the only way they knew how to react. That's why I always say, I don't compete with anybody. I will never compete with anybody but myself. So when I learned I could do better, and yes, it took me a while, but I struggled, and I had to reshape my mind. I had to literally deprogram myself. And I'm not perfect by any means. I still have my struggles. I still have to catch myself, thank you, Spirit, when I'm doing the self-depreciating bullshit, or trying to catastrophize things. Something's going wrong, so then I'm just fuck it, just let the whole ship go. We all get in those thought processes because it's been programmed our whole lives into our brain. It's not it's not a standard mindset to be thinking positive, which is why there's so much lack, thank you, Spirit, and so much negativity and all this shit that just keeps cycling, right? So but we can't control all that. We can't. The only thing we can control is ourselves. So if we can truly start from that point, our foundation, not everybody else's, just ours, when we get to that point where we can create that stable foundation for ourselves. So at the end of the day, when we're unsure, when we are scared, when we're worried, thank you, Spirit, we know we're going to find the answers if we just go within and we dig deep. Because sometimes these things come up so we can heal those things. And when we heal those things, we come from a completely different perspective. We come from a healed part and I'm not sure what that means, but I'll call back after. Anyways, yeah, thank you, Spirit. They said not to worry about it. It says province of BC, so that could be like, I don't know, maybe government or something? Anyways, not my problem. At least not right now. It is? Is that what you said? I'm not from here. Oh, that's what it is? Well, they'll call back. If it's important, they'll call back. Unless they're calling to tell me I won the lottery, I think they can wait. I've had to wait, so they can wait too. And I don't know why they would call me on their own. Anyways, be patient with yourself. Self-growth is tender. It's holy ground, and there's no greater investment. And that's by Stephen Covey. And it's true, because when we invest into ourselves, that's when we truly learn how we learn, how we process things, how we accept them, and all the ways to make change. So it's a pretty big deal, but it only happens when we take those moments to make investments in ourselves, whether it's with our little affirmations. I am abundant. I am powerful. I am worthy. I am strong. These are things that when we do them, we're investing in ourselves. And sometimes it's just a moment, a face mask, putting on some lotion and just enjoying those moments of quiet. Not letting the outside worries, the phone calls that probably are going to make my eye twitch by the time I get back to them. Those kind of things, those struggles, like when you allow them to beat you down or put you in that place of lack mindset, then you're just continuing the cycle that they've been putting us in. We're pushing away our abundance. We're pushing away all those things because we're worried about some shit that we have no control over. As long as we've done the legwork, literally, there's not much we can do. Well, there's not many other options. I don't really care. It is what it is. So, before bed, recite the following affirmation 5 times. Unless they're calling me to tell me they've paid my rent and I'm not being evicted tomorrow, I really don't give a shit. Until then, don't know. I am a work in progress. Today, I am stronger than yesterday. And tomorrow, I will be stronger than today. These are affirmations, and they're so, so simple. But they're investments in ourselves. And whether it's one small step or a huge step, when we make those investments, we clearly make some change, right? So, and it starts with just small little steps. I was going to say, are they calling back right now? If they call back twice in a row, then maybe it's a school or something, but usually it says the school. But I just worry. I want to make sure my kid's okay. You must hold your quiet center, where you do what only you can do. Choose stillness as an active practice of patience. It is okay to wait. You will get where you need to be, right? So sometimes pausing, having a moment, 11:31 on the clock, as we make those decisions. And when we stop and realize that just pausing sometimes and taking a breath allows us the opportunity to make that decision and to change our perspective, just even for a couple seconds. Good morning, Mighty Lynn. Welcome. It's just about perspective. And when you're coming from a place of survival mode or fight or flight mode or freeze or fawn, any of those, you're about self-protection and not about listening and opening yourself to the constructiveness, the possible solutions that are being sent your way. Instead, you're ready to battle them and go to war. And, a lot of times that's not even what's happening, but that's what we're so trained to do. We literally kick the crap out of our blessings and throw it away because we're afraid to open ourselves and really hear and listen to what's coming our way. So these small little investments, when we realize we're worth it and understand it and put that into ourselves, then we change our whole perspective, and we change from a place of trying to force or chase or prove or thank you, Spirit, a million other ways that we're trying to do something to deserve something, when we just know that we already deserve it. We were born deserving. It was our birthright, our inheritance, our abundance. It was born with us. It came with us. It was our promise when God sent us to earth, right? That was our soul contract with God, right? So you need to understand. Thank you, Spirit. So 11:33 on the clock. Also, my angel numbers don't play with me. I'm telling you. I know, and they very clearly let me know when I'm on point. So, as soon as the world can get us into this mode where we're not worthy, we don't think we're good enough. Good morning, Finlay. When they get us to that point, which they do with TV shows, sales, advertisements, stores, like media. There's a million. Happy birthday, Finlay. So there's a million ways how they can do that, right? And when we allow that, we're just driving it home. We're completing the cycle. So when we step out of that and we understand our own worth, and when we understand that we were worthy the moment we were born, thank you, Spirit, even before we were born, left palm is becoming itchy. Oh, that's good. That means, doesn't that mean you're receiving? I think. I don't remember. I think left is receiving and then right is giving out. Yes. It's been a long time. I'm waiting for my left hand to itch. Actually, I don't really want to itch. I actually want just the landlords to itch or whatever, so they could just leave me the hell alone. I laugh. I have to make jokes because I'm not allowing these situations to beat me down or bully me or intimidate me either. So I stand tall with integrity, and I know that everything I've done, I've been doing, not everything because I'm not perfect, but I can stand with integrity and look at myself in the mirror and know at the end of the day I was doing the right things, and I was, thank you, Spirit, and I was doing everything with my intention to come to a peaceful resolution. Right. I've pretty much learned to laugh at just about anything, and sometimes that can make people judge me in some ways a little harshly, but I laugh at that too, because it's like when you've been judged 10 ways to Sunday and still only wish nothing but the best on people, thank you, Spirit, that's when you truly know your own self, right? So, yeah. No matter what happens, I know, even if it's down to the final day and there's nothing else left, God is going to show up for me. And He's going to show up and show out in so many spectacular ways that I'm actually going to be dumbfounded. And I'm probably not even going to know. Thank you, Spirit. I'm probably not even going to know how to respond, which means it's definitely going to be a meltdown, at least one or two. It's not going to be cute. Going to be the crying booger, the whole nine. It's not going to be cute, but I just know that when Spirit has, and they have showed up for me many times. They've showed up in just the nick of time, and I have testimony after testimony after testimony to prove that. If you go back and look at some of my stories, thank you, Spirit. Welcome back, Bree. When we go back and you look at some of my stories, and I wrote a novel that burned away. So no matter how you look at it, maybe there needed to be some edits, or it needed to be written better, or Spirit just thought I could do better. So um, I'm trying to find the positives even in the negative. But in doing that, it's about changing your perspective. Thank you, Spirit. But I posted a bunch of them on here. I read some of the chapters and some of the things that I went through, and I literally had been through so much that I had to dissociate myself and make it kind of like laying out the facts and keeping it basic, so I didn't trigger other people because I didn't want to hurt them either. But there could have been some pretty gory details, but I didn't do that because it's TikTok. But even just, thank you, Spirit, but even just the basic, hearing the basic stories of the things that I've overcome would be enough to make some people's head collapse. And that's just the very basic. So when I tell you, I'm so firm in my belief on how God shows up for me every single day. How the universe lets me know how loved I am, no matter, and the more I love myself, thank you, Spirit, they can envelope me more and more, right? And sometimes I literally just feel this hug, and I know that I'm okay, I'm gonna be okay. And that's meant specifically for me when that happens. That's not for me to share with somebody, that's not for me to compare. It's just for me to know that it's going to be okay. And when you get that much connection and that much strength, thank you, Spirit, and that much feel that amount of love in one small moment, it's just absolutely astounding to not understand how you could not love yourself as much as they love you. And when you feel that amount of love and you can't give that to yourself, or haven't known how to give that to yourself, it's pretty wild. And once you feel that amount of love, especially when you've never felt love like that ever, thank you, Spirit, from anywhere but God and the universe. So when you feel that amount of love, and knowing it's your spirit team and your angels too, I don't want to in any way, shape, or form let you guys think that I'm ignoring you or not counting you in, because you know I love you. But when you fought your whole life to feel that love and couldn't understand where or why or how to get it, thank you so much. Them giving me that love and showing me that love and how much they love me only made me understand how could I not love myself. And that's why these steps that I'm taking so strongly, and why I believe so wholeheartedly that these small little things matter. These little affirmations, these little painting our faces with a mask, taking that moment, putting on those earrings that we made and rocking them and being proud of them. Thank you, Spirit. Knowing that these are all connections. They're all, like, yes, they're material things, but they're still something that you put love and care and effort in, and you treated yourself with that much respect and that much love. And they're connections, they're reminders, they're simple little trinkets that just say, hey, I'm worth it, and I recognize I'm worth it. God knows I'm worth it. My spirit team knows I'm worth it. And if they know I'm worth it, then where the hell am I? I need to get my shit together and start showing myself just how worth it I am. And every single day I show up, and every single day for this 21 days, when I show up, I'm going to get stronger. My message is going to be a little more clear because I'm getting better at sharing it. And I'm getting better at sharing it with myself and anyone and everyone that shows up for it. Thank you, Spirit. 11:41 on the clock. Thank you again. And of course, that's stable foundations and master builder numbers, which means we create our own stable foundations. And of course, the other one is new beginnings, independence, individuality, and then brand new beginnings, new perspectives, new ideas, new. And then when we add them all together, we have 7, which is spirituality, the inner health, thank you, Spirit, the inner workings of ourselves, going inward, really truly connecting with our spirit team, and luck. It's great luck, great fortune. Just all great things encircling us. So when I tell you, spirit always confirms with angel numbers and with the ding 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 ding. When you hear ding 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 ding, that means I'm tapped in. That means I'm saying thank you, spirit. That means I'm saying it the way they want me to say it, and they're absolutely confirming it. They're just driving it home. She's not lying. Listen, hear her. So and of course that just makes me more confident, because I love when I'm tapped in. It makes me feel so connected, and I know I'm helping people. So at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Good morning, Scott. So rest is not idleness. Thank you, Spirit. And to lie sometimes on the grass under the trees on a summer's day, listening to the murmur of water or watching the clouds float across the sky, is by no means a waste of time. And that's by John Lubbock. While you eat lunch, take a few minutes to sit quietly outside and listen to the nature around you. Just let go of all the shit that can pile in your head and create all those mindsets and worries and fears and all the things that we don't need to have, we don't need at all, ever. We're smart enough to understand what's safe, what's not safe. You always have to be aware. There's things, but we're taught that, and we learn that as we grow. And we know very much the difference of, okay, there's a potential danger, so I must be aware. But because there's a potential danger, I'm not going to lock myself in my house for the rest of my life and never come out. Thank you, Spirit. We behave accordingly, and we're not going to let any danger or any fear of danger hinder us and our ability to live the best life we possibly can. So, sorry, I had to drink my tea. And yes, I make my own tea also. I make my coasters from stuff that's just going to go in the garbage anyway. Thank you, Spirit. So I like to reuse them, and they seem to be holding up. So it's been probably about a month or two, and they're holding up pretty strong, and I use them every single day. So simple little creations that get to add our unique character to however we'd like to do that, but we're reusing all this garbage. And 11:44 on the clock again. Thank you, Spirit. We're complaining about recycle plants and garbage dumps and all that. Part of self-care is finding ways to use the things in your surroundings that benefit you and that make you smile. And making my little coasters that I make every day. They're simple little designs, but it's something that I did. Making the emotion wheel for my friend that she has every day. Thank you, Spirit. That she uses every day with her daughter and her children to communicate and help understand how they're feeling. And it was a gift of love, but that the actual material itself would have just went in the garbage. There was no use. It would have went in the recycle. And just keeps the garbage on the planet and keeps wasting it when, that one box created, thank you, Spirit, 5 more things and 5 cool-ass things that we could be happy and proud of and enjoy and use and actually use. It did that, and in doing that, we become proud of ourselves because we learn our resourcefulness. We learn all the things that we are able to do when we're not judging ourselves or worried about what anyone's going to think of us. We're literally just doing it, and it's okay to be proud of those things. And if people don't think it's cool, or they think it's wasted money, or they think that it's not their cup of tea, it doesn't have to be. But that's what works for me, and it makes me happy, and it lets me know how much I'm changing every single day, and it lets me know my abilities. And when I think I don't have anything, or I think I can't figure it out, my resourcefulness allows me to create Thank you, Spirit. What I need. So we invent out of sometimes necessity. Most of us, usually, when we're creating these amazing things, they start out of necessity. But how do we truly know what we need until we start looking inward, right? So these simple things, my little wants, and no matter what your spirituality is, it's just a place that every time you see it, every time you touch it, a reminder to be grateful, a reminder, how much creativity and how many different ideas are coming your way, to be open to ideas coming your way. Doesn't matter what religion you are. It doesn't matter what culture you are. It's not praying to the high God and oh my God, this is my totem or whatever. It's not. It's showing great respect for the earth that created those stones. Thank you, Spirit. It helps connect you with the earth, which is what we're trying to do through and through anyway. And anything that helps us connect to Spirit or Mother Earth, God, all of us, our own selves, is a tool and is beneficial and is something that is beauty and created. And the whole world just revolves around creativity in one form or the other, no matter how you look at it, good, bad, the ugly. Thank you, Spirit. And when we learn to give it that respect that is due and give ourselves that respect that is due, we learn to honor all the things and be creative in our own right. And when we tap in like that, then the creative ideas and the creative genius just comes so naturally that you don't even realize that it's a talent. It is you. It flows through you. Thank you, Spirit. It's a gift that we were all born with, and when we start looking into that, that's how we were meant to create things, and that's why there's so many inventors and idealists out there that create so many great change, because they just sat with themselves and they learned to love themselves and they learned to trust themselves and their intuition and trust God and the universe to send them exactly, thank you, Spirit, exactly what they needed. So when we stop and think of that, and if you ask anybody, billionaires, millionaires, entrepreneurs, if you ask them, the first thing they're going to say is, if you don't have the mindset and you don't give a shit about yourself and you don't love yourself and you don't really look inward and believe in yourself, you're never going to accomplish anything you want. Thank you, Spirit. And the very easiest way to start out on that course and to create change is to start within yourself. So when you do that, truly, that's how we honor ourselves, we honor the universe, and we create that connection slowly but surely with ourselves, with our creative ideas, with our genius that is just there waiting under the surface. Thank you, Spirit, just waiting for us to tap into it. And it happens so simply by just looking inward, taking a face mask, putting it on for a couple minutes, and pretending you're at the spa, even if you can't afford it. These little masks, I've made it. Honey and turmeric. It's so simple. Take 15 minutes and love yourself. Put on the mask. Pick up your Bible. Find some motivational verses, and I do that too. I have a lot of cards. When I pull the ones like this, are from all of the things that I have encountered just in the last couple of years. I started writing them down, and I've just been collecting the cards. They go from affirmations to angel numbers to a million other things. So I always pull them too, because if they helped me along my journey, I'm pretty sure they can help somebody else. Thank you, Spirit. So, this one is: the universe wove you from a constellation just so. Every atom, every fiber, you comes from a different star. Nikita Gill. Reconnect with the creative influences you have been drawn to throughout your life and how they have affected the person you have become. And that's funny, because I was just talking about that. Set a meeting with yourself and keep it. Make it a priority. Thank you, Spirit. 11:51 on the clock. Big changes. Big changes. Master Builder. We create our own changes. And, of course, new beginnings. New beginnings. And 8. Abundance. Karma. Infinite possibilities. No limits. Cyclic. Everything is constantly flowing. It never stops. Always on point, Spirit. Thank you. Set aside 10 minutes and write down 5 values that are important to you. Keep the list in your pocket and go about your day. When you create that and you take that time for yourself, you've made an appointment, right? And when you keep it, that just reminds you that you show up for yourself. Like, you do it automatically anyway, every time you overcome any trial or tribulation, anytime you even attempt, when you show up, when you brush your teeth, when you get ready for work, when you go to work, you show up for yourself every single day. The difference is you don't acknowledge it for yourself, you don't celebrate yourself, and you don't thank God for allowing you to show up every day, thank your spirit team, and you don't thank yourself. And when you start thanking yourself, then you start loving yourself more, and it's so much easier to do these things. And it's not something like, I'm saying it like this, but it took me 43 years to learn. 42, and started actually trying to put it into play for the last year. Have I mastered it? No, not by any means. Do I plan on mastering it? Hell yes. Because when I master myself and my own thoughts and my own knowledge and my own love of myself and how I treat myself, I'm guaranteed to treat others the same way. And I don't have to worry about my integrity wavering, because I know even if I'm mad or I'm upset, which we are allowed to be, those are all valid emotions. I'm angry and I'm upset, I'm mad, and I speak my truth. I'm not speaking my truth and wishing horrible things on people. I'm not wishing bad. I'm speaking my truth, so hopefully somebody learns from it and somebody can do better and make the thought process to make the change to do better. So this is why it's so important, right? So if you feel burnout setting in, if you feel demoralized and exhausted, it is best for the sake of everyone to withdraw and restore yourself. And that's the Dalai Lama. Walk to your favorite coffee shop for an afternoon pick-me-up, or brew a cup of tea as you take a few minutes to reflect and recharge. Thank you, Spirit. You've been criticizing yourself for years, and it hasn't worked. Try approving yourself and see what happens. Louise L. Hay, and I love this one. It's one of my favorites, actually. Recite this affirmation 5 times this morning. I am perfect just the way I am. And I'm going to leave that one out because it's one of my favorite ones. And I like to add them with my angel number cards because when I shuffle and when I remind myself, it's easier to remember to share with the world too. Because I'm reminding myself, God's reminding me, my spirit team's reminding me. And the more reminders I have to love myself and acknowledge myself and truly, truly do what it takes for myself, then there's no way I can't win, right? So, good morning, Danny. So, it's 11:55 on the clock. Thank you, Spirit. Big changes, new beginnings, and we create our own changes. Master Builder numbers. I love it so much. Here we have 5, 10, 11, 12 is 3, which is, again, spirituality, balance, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, aligning our chakras inside our younger self, our highest self, and the present, right? Future, past, present, aligning all of the timelines, aligning everything to our highest, best good. So always boils down to something good, happy, and something we can work on every single day to do better. So take a moment to appreciate a small success. Every moment is sacred. Thank you, Spirit. There are always flowers for those who want to see them. And that's Henry Matisse is the quote. And then we have, and now each night I count the stars, and each night I get the same number. And when they will not come to be counted, I count the holes they leave. Amiri Baraka. Time passed is not time lost. From every experience you have, you gain wisdom and insight. Thank you, Spirit. What wisdom can you take from today's passing moments? It's always about reflecting and finding the lesson, being grateful for the lesson, even when it wasn't the most fun. You have to be grateful for it, and you move on accordingly, right? And that's how you put your best foot forward. That's how you put in the effort, This is how we do the things we need to do. Thank you, Spirit. Decisions are the frequent fabric of our daily design. Don Yeager. Meditate on a big life decision that lies in front of you. What if your very ability to grapple with this choice is the true gift? What will you learn from this process? So what it's saying, like literally, I'm kind of almost at a war with my property management. Thank you, Spirit, of trying to work with me and find a way forward. Having left an abusive situation, trying to figure out ways ahead, moving properly, and doing it with integrity, finding a payment solution. I lost my job through no fault of my own. Good morning, Vicky. Through no fault of my own. It even says so on the paperwork, which is just wild. Applied for EI, was supposed to receive funds. I ended up with $132 a month to live, which means obviously I couldn't pay my rent. I've been reaching out to community resources, like I'm doing the legwork, I'm doing all of the things, but with no money, there's no help. And instead of actually trying to work with me and empowering me and helping me resolve a situation, a solution, finding a solution when these things that happened to me came from attacks from leaving the said abusive relationship. So they just decided, instead of working with me, that they would file a 10-day notice on the 7th day of the month, which blows my mind. Totally disregard the security deposit that I had paid, and thank you, Spirit. And before even the 10th of the month, already start trying to evict me instead of trying to find a resolution, which is just absolutely appalling. And the reason I speak about it is because if I keep it in the shadows, then it's easier for them to beat me up, abuse me, make me feel less than, or shame me in some way when I've done nothing wrong. So I refuse to allow that to happen anymore. Thank you, Spirit. So when I speak it, I speak the truth. And I'm not saying it if I don't have receipts to prove it, especially when it comes to things like that. And they sent it's in her own evidence. So, you're using the courts, wasting the court's time to find a way, instead of working, trying to find a resolution, you jump right to eviction. I'm on a 5-day, thank you, Spirit. I'm on a 5-day eviction notice. Now, I filed the other paperwork. I've done my portion, because at the end of the day, even if I end up homeless out of this, which I don't think I will, but if I do, I'm going to make sure they put in place some policies and changes, because I don't believe the owner of the company or the organization is aware that this is going on. And if they're not, then they need to be made aware. Thank you, Spirit. And at the end of the day, they're accountable regardless, because you may be the owner, but it's your job to have these processes and policies in check to make sure these abuses aren't happening. And when you put narcissists in these places of power, you create very big problems for yourself. because you don't allow, they're not healed, so they don't even have the appropriate actions to even, thank you, to look inward, let alone have compassion for anybody else. And when your entire organization speaks of empowering families and empowering women and empowering these families to live a happy, healthy life, bullying them before even the legal allotted time to do so is excessive and proves malicious intent, to be quite honest, in my thank you spirit, and they agree to 12:02 on the clock. For whatever reason, they've decided that they don't like me, and that's going to be the thing. So at the end of the day, when I stand up, it needs to be brought to their attention, and they decided to take it to court. So if we're going to go to court and do this, then I want my voice to be heard, because at the end of this, if I can make them change a policy or create a fund or do something for emergency situations for others, then I will have done something, and I've done it right. I don't understand how you can take millions of dollars a month in subsidy, saying you're helping these families and empowering them, and you give nothing back to the communities, and then don't, at the very least, have some kind of emergency solution or fund, so you can balance, not even so you pay it for them, but so you can balance your checkbooks, because that was the big worry, is that the checkbook wouldn't balance at the beginning of the next month. So if you had enough funds from all those subsidy, you would be able to have enough to balance the checkbook while you created a payment arrangement, so that these traumas that somebody's already overcome and had to endure and overcome, thank you, Spirit, you don't beat them down with it again. And then instead, you have a $1 billion company, a $1 billion organization, maybe not billions, but multi-million for sure, organization using the court system and the taxpayers' money to waste it to bully a single mother who is literally, not even trying to fight them or mistreat them or not pay them. She's literally trying to figure out a way to overcome this so she can live with stability and in a healthy manner, and not be shamed or humiliated for something that was no fault of her own. So at the end of this, no matter what happens or how it happens, I hope that at least I can create a policy that makes an arrangement like that for others in my boat. Can I send you a link about what they are about on here? About what? Who are about? What do you mean? You don't have to send me a link. I know what they're about. I applied through their website. I actually was excited because I believed in the mantra, and I thought that empowering others and helping others, and so the worst part of it all is the community we're in is just a bunch of loving, wonderful, supportive people, and they really are just trying to do better for the families. They want to create change, and they understand family struggle, and they want to put aside things so kids never go without a birthday. Yeah, it's nuts. It's disheartening, to say the least, but it's not something that's going to get me in victim mode, because no matter what they do, I'm standing with integrity and I'm doing the right thing. So at the end of the day, even when it goes to court, the judge going to say, like, you can't file a 10-day late notice when it's the 7th day of the month. Why are you, and literally the things that that she's done have literally at this point proved malicious intent, and there's no way that two almost eviction notices and threatens from the court in 4 months of living here is when I'm working my ass off trying to make sure they're paid. is a little ridiculous, right? And they're not doing that to whole families. They're not doing that to secure families. What they're doing it, thank you, Spirit. They're doing it to the single moms with only one child or two children or whatever. Single moms that are in a position where they fought for this little bit of stability, this little tiny piece of stability, and instead of allowing them to have one moment of peace, they just want to bully them. And when you're a multi-million dollar company taking many millions from the government in subsidy and giving nothing back, how can you tell me that you don't have a fund set aside or something set aside for emergency purposes? Not to pay them out, not to pay my way, not to anything, but so that your checkbook's balance for that month, so those numbers don't get crisscrossed or create such a big bad thing in your business that you can't work out a payment plan, that spreads over a month or two to overcome a situation, right? So, thank you, Spirit. And then you're going to use the court system on top of that to abuse somebody when all they were trying to do is overcome a situation and find a compromise and a way to solve the problem and doing the right things. So instead of doing any of those things, you decided to go on the attack long before you were even supposed to. So that's what I'm fighting for. Thank you, Spirit. That's what I will be fighting for. And win or lose, if I can at least change or make some sort of change in the system and the policies and the way they allow these things to take place, then I will have won. So being on day 4 of a 5-day eviction notice is a little scary. But at the same time, I'm doing the right things, and I'm fighting for not just myself. Thank you, Spirit. And at the end of the day, I know 110% God's not going to let me fail, because it's one thing to fight for ourselves, which is all what I've been learning this year is what I'm supposed to be doing. But it's a lot easier to fight for yourself when you know you're doing it not just for yourself. You're doing it for all those other people that come behind you that, are just fighting to create a stable foundation for them and their daughter or their children. And thank you, Spirit. And they see something, they learn something, they go to this thing and see Society of Hope. Like the name itself is just it was inspiring, and it really, with all of the things that I was going through, I was so looking forward to this community, and I love the community, but the management, property management, and all that, dealing with it, they really need a serious revamp, a perspective change, and man, I pray the owners, I don't even know who the owner is, I don't know who the CEO is, I don't know who any of them are, but if I did, I would request a meeting and hope they would just hear for a moment just how badly their management team are treating their people that are only want but to create stability and work, thank you, Spirit, and work with them to overcome things when they happen, not be bullied or maliciously humiliated or shamed to shut up and just take it laying down. I've been dealing with that my whole life, and once I started learning to love myself and understanding that I fought these fights by myself with no help, as I'm doing now, thank you, Spirit, by myself, no help, no foundation, nobody. I can't go borrow money off anybody. I don't have a single other person on this planet that I can just go and say, hey, can I borrow some money? Like, I had to cut off everybody from my friends and family. I'm slowly starting to build a couple relationships that are, time will tell how they show up, right, and how they work out. Welcome, Flavor Creator. 12:11 on the clock. Thank you, Spirit. Time will tell, right? I don't judge. I'm open to those friendships and those people in my life, but I don't put that pressure on anybody. and they show up how they show up, and I understand that accordingly. So, and I respect myself enough to know that no matter what happens, good or bad, I know to trust my intuition. I know to trust my spirit team. Thank you, Spirit. I know that they're not going to let me go astray because I've been through so much shit already that it is my turn for peace. It's my turn for stability. And I'm doing the work. And when I'm doing the work for me and I'm creating that, I will, there's nothing on this planet that I will strive for other than simple peace, my inner peace. I've been fighting for it. And once you start to find it, 12:12 on the clock. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Once you find that for yourself, truly, there's nothing else you ever want. And when you can find that calm in the storm, no matter what chaos is going on outside of you, you find your resolutions, you find your solutions, and the universe has a million of them. And you leave yourself open to them. You don't close it off. You don't limit them. You don't force something. You just leave yourself open to receiving the ideas, the information, and allowing God to send them your way. Literally just send them your way, because sometimes it's people you don't know. Sometimes it's your enemy. Sometimes it's people through people. And when you limit their ability to show up for you in all of the amazing ways that they do, you limit your ability to show up for yourself also, and to see the lesson and learn and be so excited for the miracles that show up in your life. So, and it all starts with just a little bit of self-love. Doing a face mask, taking 5 minutes for yourself, doing your affirmations, even if you're not sure of them, even if you don't believe in them. You know, I am abundant, I am powerful, I am strong, I am loving, I am kind. All of the I am affirmations, thank you. And just getting started with those. You know the saying, fake it till you make it. If you got to do it, lie to yourself. Yeah, everyone else lies, all these other things happen. Lie to yourself until you start to believe it, because this is something we should all be absolutely to the point of delusion over, is how much we love ourselves and how much we matter, because we show up every fucking time, even when, thank you, Spirit, when no one else does. We show up. And we still got to deal with the shit. And every time we overcome it, and every time we make one step closer to being our most authentic self, we become a better human being. And when we become a better human being, that exudes outward. It just flows out. And then it gets mirrored back to us. And then our cup is never, ever, ever ending. It just overflows and overflows. And then it just drips on people everywhere, no matter what you do. And it's going to change people one little bit at a time. And I'm a firm believer in that. And there's nothing on this planet that can change my mind. So, singers and dancers. Dancers and laughers. Laughers? Yes, laughers. 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 Loudmouth laughers. In the hands of fate. Langston Hughes is who the quote's by. What a pleasure it is that the human body knows how to laugh. Enjoy your own laughter today, and those that bring it into your life. Right? Laughter is truly laughter and love are like the two best medicines in the whole world, I believe. So, there's a calmness to a life lived in gratitude, a quiet joy. Ralph H. Blum. Pause your thinking for a moment. Must stop. Take some deep breaths and allow time to slow down. Don't rush anything. Sit with it. If it feels uncomfortable, if it feels off, if it's triggering something in you, whether it's rage, hate, emotions, anger, sadness, fear, sit with it. Feel it. Understand where it's coming from and what it's triggering and why it's triggering. Thank you, Spirit. That's how we start our shadow work. That's how we really learn to trust ourselves and our intuition. Our body is already speaking to us and saying, we're ready. We can heal this. We can focus on this. We can absorb this and do better and acknowledge it today. And when your body does that, it means that you have the ability. You are already at that stage where you have the ability to process it and heal it. You're strong enough. Thank you, Spirit. Mentally, physically, because your body's not going to force all this shit on you that you can't handle. You just have to be open to handling it, accepting it, being grateful for it, and open to the universe to showing you how to solve it, how to resolve it, how to release it after you've sat with it and acknowledged it. It's never just one thing. It's why we have to process it. It's not one thing. Here, let it go. There's a process. And your process is your process. And don't let anybody rush you in or out of it. How you do it, that's how you do it. Plain and simple. And how they can help you with it, they always will. Spirit always will. But they never rush you either. It's your process. You own it, and you love it, and you make it happen. And I don't care if it takes you a week or a year. You do it at your pace, what works for you. Thank you, Spirit. So you can still love you in the midst of every storm that comes your way. But when you start doing that one little step, one little baby step after another, before you know it, you look in the mirror and all those lies you thought you were telling yourself are truths. And you become the most amazing, best version of you that you've known, even to this point, right? And then each time you do that, it's just a little better. Welcome back, Anthony. So yeah, just small steps, baby steps. Baby steps. I don't shit how you do it. Just make a step. Any step. The smallest act of kindness is worth more than the grandest intention. Oscar Wilde. Amen. That is one of my things. I don't care if it's a compliment. I love your hair today. That's a beautiful smile. You have the prettiest eyes. Oh, I don't care what it is. Oh, nice car. Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even have to be, it can be material things. It can be just a simple compliment. It could be lifting somebody's bag for them, seeing them struggling, stopping and helping them, helping an animal, feeding the ducks with my kids. Just the smallest things can truly turn into acts of joy and a fond memory and something to make you smile and something to be grateful for, and it just truly warms your heart. So there's a selfish intent there too, because when you get that feeling, you want more of it. So when you do that, not only do you start going inward to find more of that feeling, you start giving it out, and then it comes back. Not when you're expecting it, it's going to come back in the least expected ways, and it's truly life-changing when you start acknowledging it and being grateful for it. Thank you, Spirit. Recall a recent kindness that someone did for you. What is one way you can pay this kindness forward to someone else? Little, small, amazing things, right? A compliment. Paying for someone's coffee ahead of you, the person behind you. I used to do that all the time. It's one of my favorite things. Especially if I had that little bit extra, whatever their order is, just pay for it. You're only getting a coffee. Theirs is $20. I don't care. I didn't ask how much it was. I just said I'd like to pay for it. It's those things that you do, those little kindnesses. Buying a gift card for someone because you see them outside struggling. Asking for funds, buying them a grocery gift card so they can both go get what they need, little things. We're not bragging about it, we're not posting it on social media, and it's not because I don't believe that, in some ways it's helpful because it promotes other people doing it. It can also be harmful, and it can also cause so much shame or fear or guilt, which keeps people in those positions in lack mindset, which doesn't even allow them to recognize their abundance. 12:21 on the clock. So as much as I'm all for doing great things for people, just remember when you're doing it, you're not doing it for your own self. You're not doing it for your satisfaction. You're doing it with no no expectation of anything back, and truly with love, right? And when you do that, it's going to come back to you. You just may not know when or where or from who or how, but when I promise you, with everything I have in my soul, with every cell I have in my body, those kindnesses will come back to you. And when you start to see them and recognize them, thank you, Spirit, it's going to be, they come tenfold. Like they're never what you give. They're what you gave multiplied, and they come with such love. Like there's always that emotion. Like sometimes I get so choked up I can't even speak because I'm gonna cry, and I'm trying not to be a damn snotty mess all over the place. You know, and I've always been taught, it's weak to cry and it's weak to have these emotions, and I struggle with that all the time because I've had to be my own strength my entire life, 12/22 on clock. So being that vulnerable is a struggle, but we do it, and we do it even in the face of fear, and even in the face of danger, and even in the face of bullies. It doesn't matter. When you truly give, it's coming back, and it's going to come back in those moments where you have no other option but to cry or to be grateful. And when they do happen, don't just remember it's for you, okay, and it's from God, and it's from your spirit team, and it's them letting you know you're on the right path, you're doing the right things, keep going, don't give up. And then remember that, so that when it comes to you paying it forward, that you do the same for somebody, right? And you do that, no expectations, and you do it with so much love and so much joy that that person can never forget that for the rest of their life. And they never forget it, and they're going to pass it forward. They may not do it the next day. It may take them a couple years to get their shit together. But they're going to remember it, I promise you. And they're going to pay it forward. And you have to know that and trust that. God works in mysterious ways. I'll tell you that. Thank you, Spirit. You didn't come into this world. You came out of it, like a wave from the ocean. You are not a stranger here. Alan Watts. Affirm your animal nature today. Go outside and allow your body to respond to the earth and the sky. Welcome back, Marlon. We are here to feel emotions. I just figured that out. Oh, man. I'm a walking emotion. I really am. Thank you, Spirit. Being an empath, and everyone's, kind of, a lot of people brag about that or whatever, but truly, if you think about it, it's trauma-induced, right? We all have spiritual gifts, and yes, it is a spiritual gift, and yes, it truly is a gift, but it's trauma-induced. So this is the thing that you've had to use your entire life to keep you safe. Thank you, Spirit. And somehow you have to let go and release that. And I'm not sure how you do that when that's your gift. This is my struggle, and I know there's a perspective, and I'm not seeing it all the way, and I will. But this is one of the push-pulls that I struggle with. I can't let go of my empathy because it's who I am, and it is a gift. But the trigger that created the empathy in me is the struggle. Thank you, Spirit. So I have to love the gift, be grateful for the gift, and somehow find a way to keep that gift and keep honoring it and respecting it without allowing the trauma that forced it into being to prevail or be like that filter or that hidden little thing in the corner that's always changing a perspective or giving you, thank you, Spirit, or giving you that filter from trauma or from a negative thing. So I know it sounds weird, but that is like my struggle. It's like a personal struggle, and I know I'll get there, and I know I will find that perspective, but allowing yourself to even recognize that that's a struggle is shows how deeply you know yourself, and you don't get there, thank you, Spirit, and you don't get there from not loving yourself and not showing up for yourself. So I don't care if it's till the day I die and I got 10 people showing up on here. I'm going to show up every day and I'm going to love myself and I'm going to show everybody else how to love themselves, even with little motivation cards, with little face masks, with little wands that I make and my earrings and my little love gifts for myself that remind me, thank you, Spirit, just how much I have to be grateful for and how much creativity I have and how much we all have. We just have to show up for it. So, the bad, when I tell you the bad that is piled through in my life is just disgusting. And technically it's not bad. It's the experience and it depends on the perspective. But it has been a struggle and it has been, sometimes almost drowning, almost suffocating. Like, it has been bad. And getting to that perspective, that was a marathon that some of us are not prepared to. We think it's going to be a quick jog, and it turns out, it's the Boston Marathon, or, like, I don't know what they're called, but the big long races, right? And we don't make that decision. Our bodies, our minds, our ability to process is what makes that decision. And we have to be okay with that. And I literally every single day I get a new perspective. And as I gain this perspective and process this perspective and accept this perspective, I also allow myself to be grateful and understand that this small perspective is not even the end. It's not even the highest perspective. It is just another view and a little bit higher, and then we're going to zoom out, and tomorrow we're going to zoom out again, and every time it's going to be exactly what it needs to take until I understand that in it be all end all, it doesn't matter. What matters is my intention and how I treat myself and others, but first and foremost, how I treat myself and what boundaries I create, stopping people from mistreating me, so that I treat myself better also, because I'm not allowing people to mistreat me. So thank you, Spirit, by the way, for that confirmation. No matter how we change this perspective, it's always going to boil back to the same thing. Trusting yourself, your intuition, looking inward, healing the traumas so we're not seeing from a fucked up filter, and connecting with our own self, our inner child. Thank you, Spirit, our spirit team, our highest, best self. And trusting our intuition, because it's always going to lead us to our spirit team, our angels, our guides, our God, our universe. Call it whatever you want to call it. And all of the things we use, the tools we use to connect with them and to understand them and ourselves, is exactly what you put into it. So if you go into it with bad intention, you're going to get that. If you go into it, thank you, Spirit. If you go into it with great intentions and wonderful expectations, that's exactly what you're going to get out of it. So, just like any tool, it's how you use it, right? So, welcome back. Judah, sorry. Welcome. And then, in the whole universe, this one and only place is the sole place which you have made your very own. Janos Polinsky? Your own place, thank you, Spirit. Was that confirmation on how it said? I appreciate that if it was. This is our temple. This is our foundation. This is mine. This is not yours. It's not anybody else on this planet. It's mine. And it's my responsibility. It's my job. It's my my greatest joy, my greatest task, and my greatest challenge, right? Thank you, Spirit. And when we understand that and recognize that, that's when we actually can create change. My greatest joy, my greatest challenge, in teaching that and by leading by example, then I'm also showing my daughter how to do that. So she's not going to have 20 boyfriends when she gets older mistreating her. She's going to, do the things right and understand exactly what she's worth. And those chains and those curses that we've had, thank you, Spirit, we've had 12:31 on the clock, that we've had to endure and overcome, I get to break that cycle because I love myself. And when I break that cycle, I create such a change for my daughter that she has no choice but to keep that cycle broken and only exude good things and learn good things and take in good things. And she's going to start, letting in the blessings and blocking out the bullshit. And that's what we want to do. Welcome, Tiffany. And it's a lot easier to do when you start believing and loving yourself. So, repeat this mantra throughout your day. My body is a miracle and a mystery, supporting all that I am. And then, this is not a small voice you hear. Sonia Sanchez. When your inner voice speaks, this is not a small voice you hear. No one else has an inner compass exactly like yours. Thank you, Spirit. When we trust ourselves and our intuition and our moral compass, which is our most authentic self, and our beliefs, those beliefs that the sword you're willing to die on, at the end of the day, there are things that you're like, oh, okay, I can compromise, I can be swayed this way or that, I'm willing to learn, I'm willing to understand, and so many things I am, thank you, Spirit. But my core ethics, my inner beliefs, my innermost attitudes and behaviors in what I believe in people and other people, even when I don't know all of the answers, my belief, my core ethics cannot be swayed. Not with money, not with friends or roses or gifts, or thank you, Spirit, not with any 12:33 on the clock, not with anything, because it's what I believe, and I will die on that sword. When you believe something so strongly that you're willing to die on that sword, that means that either you just are stubborn and you're not listening or trying, especially if it's not something good or positive. But if you're willing to die on it, usually what it means is you've done the work, you've been through the fires, and you've learned from experience, and you know at the end of the day that your core is unshakable. And it's unshakable because you know from experience, and you know from the shit, and you know from all the times you've been tried to be persuaded to do this or do that or do the other thing, that at the end of the day it boiled down to your core, and you believe it truly. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock, and that comes in progression, but truly you do know, like, there's that core of you that just doesn't change and will never change. Because that's your most authentic self, and that's what you truly believe, and it's okay. And if you truly believe that, that means God knows that you believe that and why. And when you stand up for it, and you honor it, and you respect it, and you speak it out there, you create those boundaries, and you don't let other people cross them. You don't cross them on yourself, and then you honor yourself and God just by doing that all on its own. So there's 1, 2. Ooh, I like that one. I love these cards so much. They're beautiful, as beautiful as can be. And the artwork, these are all paintings that the artist did. And then the stories that go with them, they deserve absolutely the respect they're given, which is why I read them last time. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so we got the sacral chakra, that and our root chakra. These two are, seriously, they can create such havoc if they're not aligned. And of course, any one of them can create havoc, but these ones, when they come to your foundation and your stability and your creativity, thank you, Spirit, those are your core things, and the things that actually drive you to have ambition to continue to show up and do the work. Good morning, Louise. So then we got life force energy. Just look at the artwork. It's just beautiful. And I really want to say that it's kind of self-explanatory, but I mean, when you become aligned and you become whole and true, thank you, Spirit, and we're always trying to do that. So I don't believe that we're ever going to be 100% truly whole, but it's a journey, and that is our goal. And the more we learn, the better we do, the closer we become. So that's when our life force energy becomes so strong that our connection, our aura, all of our field just exude out, and nothing but positive can come from that. Thank you, Spirit. And then we have endless opportunities. And once you connect to your creativity and your abilities, follow your intuition and really open yourself up and be vulnerable, even when it's gross. Just do the damn thing. Find the spot that you need to heal. Find the thought process, the thing that's hindering you from being your best self. And thank you, Spirit. And things change every moment, and every moment yourself is better. So every time you level up, every time you do something better or change your perspective, you are at your highest best self yet. So that doesn't mean that's your highest forever. That just means your highest that you've ever accomplished. And there's no roof. It doesn't end. So when we start leveling up and really seeing what we are capable of, the opportunities just start coming out of nowhere, and they never stop. So that's just intuitively what I get. I read these because I believe that, like I said, the effort put into them deserves the respect. But truly, that's what I feel, and that's what I believe when I look at them and my perspective on it. But I always love to see the author's perspective, because they truly are the ones who put in the work, right, for these ones. So, of course, we have the sacral chakra, which is the core of creation. Feelings, emotional responses, pleasure, sensuality, intimacy, connection, letting go, creativity, sacred sexuality, passion, healthy boundaries, and valuing the body. You're invited to reveal in the present moment and feel deeply in your senses the sensuality of being alive, the breeze on your skin, thank you, Spirit, the scent of the damp earth, the feeling of fitting perfectly into the temple you call your body. This card is about diving into the depths of a moment where all of your faculties are available for divine creation. Your entire paint kit is present, and no part is left in the past or caught in the future. All of who you are unites in a point of deep experience. This is the ecstatic moment of conception for a project or new life. Thank you, Spirit. Let yourself drop into passion, intimacy, and loving connection with whatever you are birthing into the world, and with whomever you have chosen to co-create with. Restore. Get in touch with your creativity and embrace your natural expression, however it looks to you. The way you live is an art form, a unique expression of yourself. You can dance through challenge, sing through restriction, and paint your reality. Amen. Your relationship with your body, your sensuality, and your sexuality. That's what the sacral chakra resonates with and applies to. So, and then the healing position is your lower abdomen, pelvis area. And then the color is vibrant orange. So, I do them almost a ready orange. Like, when I do these, some of them, like, when I create these, I really, truly try to align them. This was the first one I did, so I always keep this one because I messed it up. But for me, everything was unaligned and not quite right in that moment. So it's so fitting. I keep it with love because it was my mess up. And most people wouldn't know, but I know. And I also love it. I love it and I own it, and that's why I love it, right? Because I understand what it is, and then every time I look at it, I remember, hey, we need to make sure these ones are all aligned, all of them, every single one. So, yeah, it's just some things, it's okay to just go so deep into them and feel all the feelings, and sometimes it can come to a point of almost ecstatic joy, right? So, and that's where we want to get to, that comfort of being so grateful and happy and loving ourselves, really, truly. We get to that point and we are winning. So, thank you. Welcome, HXJ. Sorry if I butcher your names. I apologize. So this one is endless opportunities. Decision making, choice, crossroads, unrealized opportunities, taking the path of least resistance, heart over mind, direction, focused energy, the high road or the low road. Decisions, options, and opportunities. It's wonderful that we have the freedom to choose. Thank you, Spirit. 12:41 on the clock. But times of indecision can be so hard and almost suffocating. The more we use our minds to battle the pros and cons, the more we move out of our hearts. Often the best way forward is to step back and do what it takes to get out of your head and into your body so your gut feeling can guide the way. When making a choice, you may consider anything that doesn't feel like a total yes or a total no. Thank you, Spirit. I absolutely believe that. Perhaps none of the apparent options are right, or any choice could be the right one. If you wholeheartedly pick a direction and give it your best shot, when faced with a decision, check where your integrity lies. Right? That's what I was just talking about. That's so funny. Peel back the layers to see where you're making your choices from. Are you choosing from fear-based survival or a place of love? Literally what I was literally talking about. Thank you, Spirit. I love every single time you confirm exactly what I was talking about. A choice founded in love can make you feel light, excited, passionate, and give you butterflies. It might be a little scary, but in a good way. It might not make sense to your mind. It may seem out of your comfort zone or undermine logic. The low road can look the safest, easiest path. It may avoid or lessen immediate pain and confrontation, but it will be long, winding, and exhausting. Oh, for sure. The high road might look perturbing, but it will cut through old stories and lead directly to the heart for growth and transformation. When you choose to step forward boldly, it takes courage, but you'll discover a place of trust. Rather than staying small, hiding, or running away, you'll expand and open yourself to growth. This is where magic happens, and synchronicities you could never have imagined land in your lap. But first, you have to step out into the unknown and let your heart guide you. Thank you, Spirit. What if everything you wanted was right there in front of you? Make the important decision to let go of outdated limitations. What could be the worst that happens? Reach for what you want and know it is closer than you realize. Welcome back, Anthony. You have options and opportunities you may not have realized. The universe wants to give you what you want. It's all there. So reach out and wholeheartedly choose it. Thank you. While you sit on the fence, your experiences are diluted or confusing. We live in the time of choices. Sometimes reason and limitation direct our choices. And when we feel unfulfilled as a result, choose life from a place of heart, compassion, and integrity, and you can't go wrong. And that's the truth. And then this life force energy. I mean, seriously, look at this card. It's so gorgeous, and it's so true, all in one little painting. Like, the artist is just, I'm in awe. Truly, I am. I mean, I can do my paint by numbers, but by no means it's going to take me a long time before I can come up with something so absolutely beautiful. Not saying I'll never try, but yeah, you have to give that respect where it's due, for sure. So we got the life force energy. Thank you, Spirit. Energy, mana, Ana, the rainbow, spectrum, bright white light, Reiki, celebrating life, God force, optimal health, being vibrantly alive, thriving nature, conscious consumption, Eden, the body is a temple, bringing earth into balance, cell rejuvenation, and the love of the land. What happens when we seek to maximize the life force energy in everything we do? Toward the completion of this oracle, thank you, Spirit, oracle deck, I was called to visit Hawaii, and that place is phenomenal, by the way. I heard it is known to be the last remaining part of the lost continent of Lemuria, and I did not know that, which is maybe why I loved it so much. It's so wild. I went with an open mind, and I was sincerely blown away by the incredible level of life force energy radiated there. I am an avid traveler and seeker of high vibrational places, thank you, Spirit, but had never experienced such potency of the magic, the main inspiration of my art, in every cell of my bright green leaf. I could sense the songs of Lemuria in this pristine place. I discovered I had been dreaming of this place my whole life. The crystalline waterfalls, rainbow diffused skies, exotic flowers, and opulent plant life was so present that you couldn't help but see a radiant aura around everything. Aina is a Hawaii term for energy and sacred land. It seemed to me that mana and Aina are one and the same thing. Are one and the same. One day, when I was sitting on the red sand beach, I had a vision of an overlaying dimension that spanned our physical world. This overlay was a God force or life force in its purest and highest vibration. The vision presented an array of objects similar to this physical plane, from lower vibrational concrete, processed chemicals, and suffering imbued consumables, to the higher biodynamic earthly offerings that the vibrant lands surrounded me at that moment. The experience imprinted the depths of my being with the remembering that we can bring this beautiful blue planet back to its former glory, starting with our own temples and personal pieces of Eden. I realized that maximizing one's life force energy was the gateway, thank you, Spirit, to bringing heaven and earth. By aligning our choices with this higher frequency, we will naturally create more opportunities to ground this somehow forgotten light. When we know the joy of this life force within and around us, we are vibrantly alive. We can't help but inspire others to choose the same. It's time for celebration. Revel in this bliss of being alive. This is an incredibly healing card packed with luminous life force energy, thank you, Spirit, for optimal health and healing. It reminds you to seek joy and upliftment in everything you do, as much as possible. Consider the food you eat, the environments you spend your time in, the people in your life, and even the things you wear. Increase your awareness of their journey and how they came to be in your world, and their energetic resonance. When they are they alive and vibrant? You may also be inspired to work with healing energies such as Reiki, thank you, Spirit, or with the land, perhaps grow vegetables. You are encouraged to joyously make your life a piece of Eden. As a result, you will shine with vitality. So yeah, like I'm big into, obviously, angel numbers. I love tarot, numerology, astrology. The list goes on and on. Welcome again, Flex. The list goes on and on, right? And the more we learn, the more we want to learn. So it's a true story. Thank you, Spirit. That's the goal, right? To just constantly be learning. But everything we do, give it our all and really put that effort in and show the world what we believe and show it in our actions. I don't have to, like, even what I'm doing now, I'm doing it because I want to share it. But I can literally just walk down the street and, thank you, Spirit. You can feel my energy. You can see my glow. You can see that I 100% truly believe in what I'm saying because I've learned it through experience, not just, wasn't just a guess one day. So I've literally went through a million other small experiences that have led me to this point, and have shown me, and those synchronicities and the aha moments and the holy shit that just happened. Yeah, thank you, Spirit. Yes, I'm laughing, but like, yes, they even confirm my swear words, because they know that I'm saying it just like it is, and that's just me in true form. Welcome, Dance79. It just is what it is. They know that I'm in my most authentic self in this moment. And as I grow, yes, that changes, but my core beliefs stay the same. And I'm vulnerable, I'm open, I'm honest. I say it like it is, the good, the bad, the ugly. I've done that since the beginning. You can go back to all of my videos and check that for yourself if you don't believe me. I am who I am, and everything I do is led with love, and truly, I just want to help others. I stand up, I fight for myself because no one else will. Thank you, Spirit. My spirit team, God, the universe, they have my back. So when people fuck with me, maybe you're not gonna get it today, maybe, but it's coming back, and I don't have a say in the matter. I don't wish bad on anybody. Just know that they give mercy because I pray for mercy every single day, even for those that have hurt me and people have done some serious damage in my life. I pray all of the good thoughts for them, and I pray things work out in the most merciful way for them, and in their highest best good. Truly, I always do. But I also have a vengeful spirit team that says, yeah, we're like literally sometimes are biting at the bit to just go because they've watched me cry and struggle and fight and fight and fight. And it's one thing to fight yourself, it's one thing to fight your own struggles, but when you're actually fighting actual people fucking with your life, thank you, Spirit, doing damage, physically damaging you, mentally damaging you, damaging your job, ripping things away from you because they're projecting their own pain. I understand the pain part, which is why I always forgive and release. But when they do it over and over and over after so much mercy, then yes, my spirit team gets mad and they're not fucking around. And literally, God has made me cry, thank you, Spirit, telling me it's not your business anymore. We're not enabling people. We showed them mercy. We gave them warnings. We did what you asked. What's next is not your business. And that's when I need to mind my damn own and understand that that's what it is. And I'm saying that because part of that is loving ourselves, okay? Welcome back, Anthony. That's loving ourselves, right? Standing up and creating those boundaries. And when people overstep them, no, I'm not saying kick their ass. I'm not saying ruin their life. I'm not saying do all these things. But you let them know they've crossed it, and it's up to you if you want to give a warning or not. And if you give them an opportunity to redeem themselves, then that's wonderful. And if they don't take that opportunity and understand it for what it is, then you quietly just take yourself out of the equation. Thank you, Spirit. When you take yourself out of the equation, they don't have the opportunity to fuck with your boundaries. Then anything they do in your life, fucking with your job, trying to make you homeless, bullying you in a situation instead of helping you, making fun of you or creating hell while you're struggling and still trying to find peace, those are things that, you have no control over. It's not my opinion or my business what people think or care about me. What is my business is what I think about myself and what I'm doing every day to show up for myself. And if I'm doing the right things, all the good things will happen for me, and I know that truly. It's going to go my way. I've learned the lesson after lesson after lesson, and I always still lead with love, and that's why I know it's going to go my way. But when it goes my way, what benefits me usually ends up because there is polarity, right? Duality. When I'm getting my way, that means karma is going to those people that didn't do me right. So I always pray for mercy, but I also pray that I understand exactly why it is, and I be grateful for the lessons that are given out, good or bad, because we all have to learn them in one way, shape, or form. Thank you, Spirit. I have overcome many other people's karma. It wasn't even my own. People would project it onto me, and in turn, do things trying to ruin my life. And I overcame it, and still haven't wished bad. So when I tell you, take a moment, think inside, look inward. Part of loving yourself is understanding that you don't have to wish bad on anybody. If they're doing it over and over and they're maliciously doing it, thank you, Spirit, what's going to happen to them is a given. You don't have to ask for it. You don't have to pray for protection. If you're just doing the right thing and you're being your damn self and you're treating people with the same respect that everybody deserves, even the hurt ones, even the mean ones, even the angry ones. You're treating them with the respect that you would ask for yourself, the mercy that you would ask for yourself. If you're treating them like that, you're loving yourself in turn, right? So we need to understand that self-love isn't just a face mask. It just isn't looking deep. It isn't just affirmations. It's how we treat others. And when we mistreat others, we truly mistreat ourselves, because our insides are all chaos, and we're spewing that out into the earth. And of course it's going to reflect back to us, because the people we encounter in our lives are a reflection of how we are, right? So thank you, Spirit. And that's how they trigger change, and that's how they help us change. And maybe I'm not always going to be the one that triggers everyone's change, right? But somebody will. And I truly hope that when these changes happen, they come in time before they have to deal with such horrible traumas and stuff. Like, overcoming them is a lot, and then forgiving yourself for them is even more. So please just understand that self-love isn't just some simple things, but doing a simple thing, your little face mask, your little affirmation, your prayer, your gratitude is the start to allowing yourself to understand that self-love. And when you get to that point, it truly is a lot easier to treat others better, yourself, and then in turn treating others better by default. It's not even like a, thank you, Spirit. It's not like an active choice. It's not like you have to work hard to make that decision. It literally becomes so ingrained in your nature, because that's how you treat yourself, that you just do it. It just automatically happens. You're walking with integrity and with ethics and with kindness and love and compassion automatically. It just happens. And then you treat people that way, and that gets mirrored back. And it just keeps mirroring back until you're so flooded with love that there's nothing else you can do but give out love to everybody. That's our goal. So I'm going to pull a couple more. Got two more I'll pull. It's almost 1 o'clock already. You know, when I come out here, I start talking a lot. And the reason I meant to do that is because, one, I'm a talker. I have the gift of gab. I could tell stories for days and days and days. Thank you, Spirit. And I can be entertaining, and I can be a comedian. I can talk shit with the best of them. Cuss like a sailor. You know, I am all of those people, and I can be at any given time. But I come on here because Spirit understands, and I understand that in my message, I'm giving it to more than just one person, and they're going to come in and out as they go, right? So, you know, I have 100, 200 people coming in and out. That is fine, and I love that the cards that just came out. You know, people are coming in and out, and they're only getting a small message. That's all they need in the moment. But they're going to pass it along to somebody else. My small little moments with my people that come and sit for a moment or pop in and out, is because maybe they can't always process all of the message, or maybe they only needed a small message. Thank you, Spirit. Or maybe they just needed to go share the little message they just learned with somebody that really needed that message. I mean, it's such a simple thing. We don't think about it, but it happens all the time, every day, non-stop, every second of the day. So we got Anna, grandmother of Jesus. Seeding the light, laying foundations, and divine plan, which is just what I was talking about, sowing the seeds, right? Right now what I'm doing is I'm sowing the seeds and I'm watering them. Thank you, Spirit. And everyone that takes a little part of this message and shares it with somebody else, they're watering my seeds, and they're sowing their own seeds, and they're just keeping it going and creating an entire field of love and compassion and kindness for everybody that they encounter. And I don't see how that's ever going to be a bad thing. So there's nothing you can actually tell me that would convince me that it would be a bad thing. Thank you, Spirit. I just have to find that. There it is. No, page 88. Of course it would be page 88. I love that. Karma 7. Good luck. Just absolute abundance. I love that so much. And that was a special number for me. And now at 101 on the clock. Thank you, Spirit. New beginnings, endless new beginnings. We create our own new beginnings. Master number 11, baby. Thank you, Spirit. It's so much, and it's never ending. The synchronicities and the things that sometimes it's just when you're thinking something and something, that idea, that spark, and you get those weird random numbers that you just keep seeing. That's your angel speaking to you. That's your guide saying, yes, you're getting it. Pay attention. Focus. Focus again. You got this. We can do this. Think about what you're seeing in those moments. Thank you, Spirit. Think about what you're speaking on. Think about who you're talking to, how you felt, whatever's happening around you, because those are your ideas that are going to help you create your own abundance, your own authenticity, help you find yourself and heal those triggers, and do it in such a loving manner for yourself, without shame or humiliation. Like, they're all there, and there's always something there leading you to that. Thank you, Spirit. You just have to be open to seeing the signs and open to the help. And don't judge where the help comes from, or who's delivering it to you, or how you're getting the message. Don't put expectations on that. Be open to whatever. Allow the universe to weave its web, because when you see the way things come in for you and how things change and how they intertwine to work out to your miracle, it's absolutely astounding. Thank you, Spirit. It's mind-blowing. It's a miracle, and miracles happen every single damn day, all day long, every second of the day. And the more we become aware of them and grateful for them, the more we allow them to show up in our lives, truly. And that's something that we have to believe in and share, because when we do that, we are creating this absolute expectation, thank you, Spirit, of miracles, which is our abundance, our birthright. It was promised to us as part of our soul contracts. So it's there. We just have to align ourselves with it. And to do that, we need to love ourselves. And we have to understand that we're worthy. And it doesn't just take a moment. It takes that deep soul work, that healing, the triggers, all of the things. Thank you, Spirit. When you do the work, it shows up. Mine's coming, and I've been doing the work, and I've been struggling, and trust me, I've done the why me, I've done the oh my god, I'm not going to make it, I've done all of the things, even in the midst of the struggles I'm going through right now. I actually know from so many other experiences where I've been saved, and absolutely saved, or miracles showed up in my life just to show me I was on the right track, and let me know I was loved. Thank you, Spirit. And keep me going. Let me know not to give up. They show up every single day, and they do exactly what they're supposed to do. They remind me exactly what a miracle I am, and how many miracles show up every single day, and how many we can share with people by just giving them that one word that they needed to just keep their ass going. That little bit of motivation, that silly thing that made them laugh, that instead of thinking about doing something bad. Like, one little change, one moment, one instant can literally change the entire trajectory of somebody's life. And we don't even recognize it, and we don't understand it. And when we do recognize it, we understand how we can make big differences with very little effort, and do it with joy and with love. And you know that it's coming back. It's coming back. And if it doesn't come back to you right away, somebody else needed it more, right? And that's more important, because in the end, it's going to come back, okay? So this one is seeding the light, laying foundations in the divine plan. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, was an ancient mystic who dedicated her life to laying the foundations for Christ consciousness to be woven through all of life. She is not widely known, but without her, Christ consciousness would not be rising as it is today. Anna represents the quiet dedication that is sometimes required, thank you, Spirit, to live a life of service. She represents the generations that came before that devoted their lives to dreaming a new world into being, while knowing that they would not see the glorious end result. She represents the dutiful soldier, the unconditional mother, the mystic who can see the thread that is woven through all of life. Anna teaches us that we all have a part to play in the divine plan. It doesn't have to be on the world stage or be significant. Thank you, Spirit. One person's part is not worthier than another. One person's part may be to mother their children. Another's may be to gather women in circle each month. No part is better or worse, more important or less significant. We each have within us a seed of light that we incarnated to share. Anna is gathering us all here to remember and surrender to our part of the plan. And then the affirmation to go with that, thank you, Spirit, is, Beloved Anna, thank you for laying the foundations for the divine plan. May the seeds of light within me be revealed, and may I surrender to my part of the divine plan. And I'm kind of just giggling because one of my affirmations was pretty close to that. I fell in love with it immediately, so now it's becoming one of mine that I want to do every day. I work joyously on the goals that I am planting now, thank you, Spirit, and I appreciate all the support and sustenance that the universe is about to offer me. That means even though we're sowing seeds now and we're planting them and we're watering them, because it's cycles, all the things that we've already sowed before is coming, and that's where the karma comes in, right? And if it's good, it's good karma. And if it's bad, it's bad. And thank you, Spirit, that's what you have to live on, right? That's the harvest. However your crop grows, you may have to live on it for a little while. And it's shitty and it sucks. And it sucks when you take other people's karma that you didn't even create. But it is what it is. And once you learn to create those boundaries, you can actually change that. I didn't know that for a very long time, so it is what it is. I learned a lot of things the hard way, which is why I share thank you, Spirit. I share what I do, so hopefully I can help others not learn things from such a hard way, right? Welcome back, Schwartz. Transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. Things are changing at a cellular level. You are not who you were a year ago, or who you will soon be. You are in between, emerging, half risen, half falling. Keep doing the work. Thank you, Spirit. You are transforming. You will look back at this time with awe. So much is happening in your inner world and within yourselves. It's time to release old ways of being that have kept you in fight, flight, freeze mode. To choose a new way of being where trauma is not the driving force. Old childhood patterns are rising up to be healed. As you allow yourself to observe them and feel them without attachment, they loosen their grip and fall away. Thank you, Spirit. You're being called to find new ways to self-soothe. Saturn and the Black Madonna and the African goddess Oshun influence this card. Saturn represents destruction and transformation. The Black Madonna represents the underground and all that has been cast aside. The Oshun represents the tender love of the original mother. A rethreading is happening, healing at the deepest of levels. When you are in this phase, don't put yourself under pressure to perform. Thank you, Spirit. You may need to review your relationship with your body, perhaps even shifting your diet or exercise regime, or getting energetic healing support. You may also need to consider some kind of emotional support, as issues from your childhood may come up to be healed. You are deeply loved. And then your affirmation that goes with that is, I allow myself to receive the deepest healing and transformation for change to happen at a cellular level. 1:10 on the clock. And then share your voice, which is what I'm doing here every single day. For as long or as little as people need to come listen, that's what I'm here for, okay? Come out of the cave, persecution and expression. Yeah, when people keep you in that fear, in that trauma and that shame and all of the other things, thank you, Spirit, that they use to try to hold us back or quiet us down so they can continue traumatizing us, which just blows my mind. We allow it when we shrink our voice and we don't speak our truth, and we allow these people the space to hurt us over and over and over again. 111 on the clock. But when you open your mouth and you come out of that corner and you shine the light as bright as you can into those deep dark corners, you don't allow them that place to do that anymore. And that's when accountability takes place, and that's when people have to stand in their own right and either stand by what they did and be accountable. And I know I did that and I own that and I did that for this reason, whatever, respectfully honor what they did, and why, or understand what they did, no matter what, understand, forgive themselves, and make change, right? Because if they know it was wrong, the only way you make change is to be accountable and then figure out a plan to overcome it, right? So, sharing your voice in situations, especially situations like mine, what I'm going through, creates those conversations. It brings a place to force change, to force those conversations that can create compromise and change. So it's not just a one thing. Thank you, Spirit. And it's not just a she must win, they must win, because there's many different sides to the story. But I believe in mediation, and I believe in compromise, and I believe that whenever we can look at somebody else's perspective other than our own, on top of our own, because we don't just let ours fall away. We still have our perspective, and we're valid and justified usually in it. So when we have that, and but we see it from their perspective, there's a much easier way to meet in the middle somewhere, as long as both are willing to give just a little bit. So there's a compromise that meets where nobody feels taken advantage of, or morally drained, or emotionally drained, or physically drained. Like, we have to understand that learning these perspectives is how we make that change and how we create all that. And if we don't speak up, or we don't voice our concerns or share what's happening, then we allow that shadow for people to sneak into and continue abusing us time and time again. And I'm kind of done with that. I've been doing it my whole life, and that's why I share my story, and I share everything from love, because thank you, Spirit, 113 on the clock. I'm not going to allow people to shame me, humiliate me, embarrass me, or make me feel like less than, when all I've ever tried to do is be a good human being and do better when I learned I could. So, and if we all practice that just a little bit, I think that we would probably do okay. We could create some change, that's for sure. You're being called to share your voice, perhaps by speaking up in a relationship, thank you, Spirit, or through writing, speaking, singing, or some other form of creative expression. We each hold a truth deep within us that longs to be expressed. Sculpted for lifetimes, the voice of your soul is like no other. It carries with it wisdom that can only be gained through soul history and growth. By remembering, tapping into, and expressing this unique tone, we not only heal ourselves, we also heal the planet at large. When you share your voice, you unlock something in the universe, thank you, Spirit, and call it a missing piece of you home. Your individual voice is the most powerful sound current on the planet. If you have kept your soul's voice silenced or held back, chanting or singing could truly be life-changing for you. As we shed the layers of our personality and start letting our unique soul speak through us, we discover that we actually have a very clear message that longs to be shared. The more we speak it, the clearer it gets. Welcome, Karen. Never been a better time in history than right now to rise up, speak your truth, and share your soul's voice. If you feel fearful, know that you are not alone and that the world needs your unique tone in order to harmonize. As we rise up and share our song, we make it easier for the next person to do the same. Express yourself, share your voice, and speak to those who can hear you. And that's why I say some people come in and out. They stop in for a moment. stay for a while, share with a friend. It doesn't matter what, my voice is going for the allotted amount of time that my boundaries allow me to give each day. What I allowed myself to commit to. And in that, my message will get out, and the people that need to hear even the smallest parts of them are going to hear that. And God, thank you, Spirit. God has promised me that, and all it takes is one person who that seed just plants and starts to sprout. And when it starts to sprout, they're going to share it for me, and it doesn't have to be just my voice saying the same song, right? I can have a whole choir by the end of the week. Don't worry. And that's the goal. And that's God's goal too. So we got birthing and marriage. Thank you, Spirit. 92. I'm reading these ones because they're all new ones and they are pretty pertinent to the conversation. So it's just Spirit once again confirming that I'm not crazy, and there's way too many synchronicities that these could possibly be coming out, that exactly what I was talking about to confirm. And then the angel numbers, and then the dings as I'm tapped in. Thank you, Spirit. There's always more than enough to show me and anyone else who's willing to pay attention. The signs and synchronicities that just say that I'm speaking the truth, and I'm speaking the truth to the best of my knowledge, and as I learn and do better, obviously, I share that also. But my intent is never to confuse anybody or force them to do it my way. The intent is to pique their interest, thank you, Spirit, and to allow them the ability, give them the resources and the want to ask questions and start looking for themselves. Welcome, Blackbird. So yeah, it's not about doing it my way or this is the way that you must do it. It's about showing how easily it can be started and how we can find ways to be accountable and do it for ourselves. And thank you, and pique their interest and curiosity, so they start doing the research on their own, and I don't have to do it or force it down someone's throat. It's just about making them want to learn more about something and then doing that research. Then you don't have to believe me. Read it for yourself. Look it up for yourself. There's no fight there. There's never a fight there, because all I do is pique your interest. Thank you, Spirit. You then have to actively take on that work and make that decision and take what you feel from that, the filter you get from that, out of what you learned and what you did on your research. And if that perspective needs to change, I promise you, Spirit is going to let you know one way, shape, form, or the other. So, but if you're always trying, it's okay to change perspective. It's okay to learn a different perspective and be open to that. It's not you did something wrong. It's that you can only absorb and process and learn so much as you go, that there are stages, every single thing, just like a video game, just like life, just like our paychecks and our raises and promotions and all those things. So the perspective level is only what you know and what you can process. So that's okay. And understanding that and acknowledging that and forgiving yourself when you didn't have all the answers, thank you, Spirit, is the priority here. Don't punish yourself because you didn't know better. But when you knew you could do better, that's when you need to start actively trying to do better. And the more we, focus on that and focus on ourselves and doing that for ourselves, then our outer worlds start to reflect exactly what we got going on in here. And even if it's still chaos, but we're trying, thank you, Spirit, and we're showing up for ourselves, and we're putting in the work. You notice that those chaos things that come at you, no matter how big or small, they become much, much easier to overcome. And those random people that show up in your life and help you overcome them so quickly, like it was just like walking through, like just dancing through it, right? So you just have to believe and believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, thank you, Spirit, nobody's going to show up for you. And even when you do believe in yourself, sometimes you're going to have obstacles you have to overcome because people refuse to believe in you, or the people in your circle refuse to believe in you. And what that means is it's time to change your damn circle. 121 on the clock. Thank you, Spirit. And again, master number 11, we create our own balance. Thank you, Spirit. We create our own stable foundations, which is the 4, right? And once we create that with our master number 11 and our balance and our going inward, that stable foundation becomes unshakable. And when it's unshakable, literally, there's nothing in this world, no matter what they throw at you, big, bad, it doesn't matter. They can't take it from you. They can't shake that foundation. They can't break that house. They can't tear that house down. They cannot, thank you, God. They can't do shit to you because what you know. It's not a I believe, I think. It's an inner knowing that will never change no matter what happens in this damn world. And once you know that about yourself, which is the only thing you can know about yourself, once you know that, no one can change that. And that's why this self-love journey is so freaking important. 122 on the clock. Thank you, Spirit. I had no idea, and I am literally 43 years old, and didn't even start even trying to put it into action until about a year ago, and I didn't even know. I've always been on the path at trying to struggle my way to some sense of understanding. I've always struggled in some way. And the biggest struggle and the hardest part of my struggle was understanding that I was worth it. Thank you, Spirit. Because that programming can fuck you up, okay? And when you don't understand you're worth it, how do you think the people around you are going to treat you? And that was a struggle for me, truly. I know now, and now that I know, it's all over, and I fear nothing because I know at the end of the day, no matter what the situation brings, 1, 2, 3 on the clock, progression, right? We're never ending, we're never changing, we're always trying to do better. And no matter what they throw at me, I'm going to overcome it in one way, shape, or form. If I need help to overcome it, you bet your ass, Spirit, sending it my way. If I need people that are going to fight for me or change my perspective or show me how to accept defeat or whatever it is that I need to do in that moment, they're going to send me everything I need. So I know that because now they know that I'm showing up for me. Thank you, Spirit. Welcome, Jancy. When you show up for yourself, you show up for others around you the same way. But showing up for yourself first allows you to create that boundary and say, okay, this I need help with, this I'm doing, this I want to do on my own, this I have to do on my own, this I'm not taking accountability for something that you've done, and understanding that accountability goes where accountability lies. Thank you, Spirit. If I did something, I need to be accountable. If you did something and then try to make me accountable, one, not only me taking the accountability then hinders your lesson, and hinders your life and stops your growth in your journey by being an enabler, right? And I didn't know that for the longest time because that's the codependent, the narcissist, empath, the push-pull, the whole thing, like the mentality. I just didn't know. I didn't even understand. Which is also why now that I know, I'm sharing it because we all know now, and some of you may have known since you were a child because you were lucky, and that's wonderful that you did. I'm not jealous at all. I think that's something I hope that moving forward, every child knows and learns and understands that truly. But, you know, you didn't know. You can't punish yourself for that. We can't stay in that victim mindset. We know now, so we're going to make changes. So I learned the hard way, and I'm going to try and share it so maybe someone learns a little less hard way. But it's become my passion, and I believe strongly in it, and I will share it every day no matter who the hell shows up or doesn't show up. So this one is Birthing a New Age. Birthing new creations, dreaming a world into being. Often our path is exactly the one we don't feel prepared to walk. Walk it anyway. Often what is rising feels far bigger than we could possibly hold. Be a container for it anyway. Often our creations seem to have wild, uncontrollable consciousness of their own. Birth them anyway. Often, what is ours to do the very thing that most intimidates us. Be courageous and do it anyway. Thank you, Spirit. We are birthing a new age. Right now, we're in a transition period between ages, in the process of allowing the old cycle to fall away and the new to rise. Like driving in the fog and trusting the road will appear ahead, we need to release old identities and the ways that no longer serve us, using our intuition as a compass. You're a part of a group of souls who have been incarnating at significant periods of history, thank you, Spirit, preparing us for this exact time. Dreaming a new world into being. Magdalene's sisters, daughters of Isis, Essenes, priestesses, witches, mystics, healers, seers, artists, midwives, visionaries, guardians of the earth, and storytellers from times past. It is time to give permission and space for what is beckoning within to be born. We are dreaming a new world into being. Thank you, Spirit. And then we have the affirmation, the activation, which is so. I just got goosebumps. So, literally, this I think is for me just as much for anyone else. This one, I got goosebumps all over my body. I am open to surrendering to the creations that are wanting to be birthed through me. May I be of service in a way that delights my mind, body, and soul. Please use me, please lead me, and please show me the way. Thank you, Spirit. I love that. And then the last one is the bottom of the deck, and I don't usually put the bottom of the deck face up, but this is also a message directly for me. That does not mean someone else didn't need to hear it, but 110% I know this one is for me. Dance with life. Do something to change your energy. Because when we get stuck in the hopelessness or the worry or the fear or all of the other things everyone project onto us, thank you, Spirit, we create limits on ourselves and we create traumas and worries and all these situations, and we push all these wonderful things that are coming our way, we push them away with worry. So me, no matter what, what's that, 62? No matter what, if I gotta get up, if it's doing dishes, if it's sweeping the floor, if it's dancing in the basement, if it's, walking around the block and taking some breaths, whatever it is, getting up, moving, creating some kind of motion to help transmute that energy. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're taking some negative shit and we're turning it into something good, positive. And yes, doing dishes is positive. I hate to admit that too. I'm not a dishes person, but it's still positive. Sometimes we don't like it, but it's still a positive thing, and it's something that we're using to transmute that negative energy. And in one shape or form, we're taking that negativity that has been thrown at us or projected onto us, and we're transitioning it, transmuting it, creating something good. Doing dishes creates a healthy, more space, more satisfying environment, a clean environment for us to work and do things and birth our creations, right? So, changing the energy, changing the movement will always change the energy. Thank you, Spirit. No matter what you do, if you're struggling, especially with depression, and sometimes, and I've been there, so when I tell you no judgment, I damn well mean no judgment. You will never hear me say something like, I think I'm better than anybody else, or anybody's better than anybody else, because we're all just at a different stage. Even those that have hurt us, and that's the hardest part to admit and choke back. And sometimes, yes, you almost choke on it, but it is what it is. And thank you, Spirit. And when you can find yourself to that perspective, truly we can make changes that are life-changing for everyone around us. That energy is so important. Change it. Get your ass up out of bed. If you are exhausted, you can't, if you're so depressed just looking at life every day, I don't care if you have to get up to walk to the bathroom. I don't care if you have to sit there and wave your hand like this for 5 minutes until you're laughing at yourself. I don't care if it's like tapping so you can breathe properly. I don't care what the movement is. Do a movement. Get something going. Small as it may be. If you're going like this, if you gotta just wipe your head, do whatever. Do a movement. So little, 131 on the clock. Literally, self-expression. Okay, big changes. Master number 11. We're creating our own environment, and we're creating our own security, and we're making these changes. Big changes, 5, right? With our self-expression, the ability to express ourselves and to align ourselves, the past, the present, and the future. To understand that right now we can't worry about the past. Okay, we can't stress about it. We can't dwell on it. It's already happened. What's done is done. Let it go. We can't worry about the future. We can't control that, and that's one of my worst. Okay, we can't have no control over that. We need to do what we can do on our own level. Control what we can control, and what we're allowed to control. Not other people, not shit like that. Just control our own reaction, our own things that we can do to help resolve a situation. And then after that, we need to give it to God, right? We need to let it go and just be in the present, because in the here and now is where we find the solution. In the here and now, in our innermost being, in our quiet moments, in our moments of self-love and self-care, and all of the things that we do, we truly find our solutions, or we attract them to us by being here and just accepting what is, and being grateful for what is, and learning the lesson, whether it's good or bad. In doing that, we truly can change our entire mindsets with just a freaking movement. Thank you, Spirit. Wave your hand. Do something. I don't give a shit what it is. Lay there and blink if that's all you can do until you can do it. Do a movement. Do something that changes your energy. One thing can make that shift. One breath. One choice. One action. 133 on the clock. That's all it takes. And if we have to start that small, we start that small. And we show up. And we show up again. And we try again. And we try again. And we try again. And we don't give up. Thank you, Spirit. When we give up, we don't have that chance to try again. And we're always, when all that shit piles on our back, and it's time to, and we give up, you have to understand that you were just that one choice away, that one decision, that one movement, that one action, that one thought from succeeding. So truly, like, no matter where your situation is, no matter what's going on, understand that there's always a solution. And if we can just get quiet and really truly love ourselves and focus on ourselves and go inward, those solutions will come to us, because we have everything we need. In the end, we have it. It's all right here within us. So, okay, I'm going to read this one. I went a little off on a tangent because the energy, I know I need movement, I need anything, and it helps me. It truly helps me. No matter what's going on, I can be like, thank you, Spirit. Dancing used to be the only thing that saved my life, in times of joy, in times of fear, in times of sadness, anger, rage. Dancing was my thing. Am I a professional? By no means, no. But I didn't care. It wasn't about people watching me. It was about the release and the ability to transmute all of this energy into something that made me feel good. At the end of the day, it made me feel better, and it released all of this shit when I didn't know how to process it or understand it. Thank you, Spirit. The body movement intuitively allowed me a place to release it, even though I couldn't understand it. And sometimes it takes a lot before you can understand what it is, or how to fix it, or how to process it in a more healthy way. But the movement doesn't hurt anybody, as long as you're not like hitting them, or but doing a movement for yourself transmutes that, right, and processes it until your body and your mind and your emotional well-being is ready to catch up and do the work, so that you can process it every time in a better, safer, and more beneficial for yourself manner. So just get up and move. Just move. Do anything, especially if you're starting to feel yucky or sad or low, any low vibrational shit. Those movements will change that energy. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, life is always moving. If you resist this ever-changing flow, your energy will become stagnant and you will fall out of flow with the universe. The universe has a mysterious, intelligent force, a natural rhythmic beat that governs all of life. One of the best ways to shift your energy, frequency, and vibration is to put on some music and to dance along with it. It's my favorite thing in the whole world. When we dance unrestrained, our spirit takes over, and with each new bop, sway, and kick, we are rocked back into a harmony with the rest of life. Get unstuck by doing something that shifts your vibration. Put on some music, dance unrestrained, and fall into the frequency of life. In doing so, your body will begin to learn how to be moved by your intuition, which is connected with this systemic beat. If dancing isn't your thing, then simply do something that you would not usually do to shift the energy. You cannot solve a problem with the same mind that created it, and you cannot attract a different experience without changing your energy first. It's time to shift things up and to find a way to dance along with the beat of life. Do something to change your energy. I don't even know how to go into detail so much or speak on it any more than I possibly could. Like, literally, it has saved my life. It has taken me from ready to jump off a bridge to I can literally build this bridge. I can do this, and it was because I was just so overflooded, especially when you're empathic, which, by the way, mostly is usually a trauma-induced thing. So know that already absorbing emotions is some of the most unhealthy shit that you're ever gonna do, right? So when you know how to process it, however the hell you have to do it, sometimes that movement just changes your whole thinking. It changes everything because it takes you out of that hi Rose, welcome. It takes you out of that poor me, survival mode mindset, victim mode, lack mindset, into an empowered place of immediately the minute your mind switches from that negative mindset to anything. It doesn't even have to be 100% positive, but you've shifted, so it's already in that positive direction, even if it's not all the way shifted yet. And then another movement's going to shift it again, and another different movement or doing something different is going to change it again. And it doesn't matter if it takes 1,000 movements to change that energy into something positive. Thank you, Spirit. It's definitely possible, and it can be done. And the minute you make that choice to make that movement that changes that thing, you've made that choice that changes your life, in one shape or form or the other. And it's literally that simple, okay? When they say it can't be that simple, no, it really is that simple. One little thing can change your entire decision, that can change the entire trajectory of your life. Thank you, Spirit. You're very close to achieving your goal. That was just at the bottom of the deck. So I felt called to share that, and that's for all of us. You know, every single time we make those changes and we change our perspective and we don't allow this fear and worry and anxiety and all that other bullshit allow us to struggle, then we stay here in the present, in gratitude, in happiness, in self-love, in love, just exuding unconditional love for everything and everyone in our surrounding areas. What do you think gets projected back to us? Okay, I'm not going to take all these, Spirit, but I'll take the top two, because that was a whole lot. I know you want to tell me I know you want to tell me a story. If you wanted all them to come out, you got to do it again, though, because you can tell me a story, but thank you. It's 1:40 and I got 10 minutes, and we cannot be messing around today. So, that one? Okay. I knew you were going to come out with that one. Okay, so we got The bottom of the deck was I forget, but it was you're getting close to your result. Don't let pride get in the way. Always be vulnerable. Always be honest. And true. Just tell it like you see it. Be your thank you, your highest best self. Speak with truth and integrity, and not out of maliciousness or out of anger or out of, I mean, we all can get to those points where we do that. So when I say that, there's no judgment and there's no harshness there. But 141 on the clock. Thank you, Spirit. The intention is always to lead with our best foot forward. And when we stumble and fall, not if, when we stumble and fall, we first, thank you, Spirit, we first of all forgive ourselves. And then we make actionable steps to make amends, right? And because being accountable means making change. And you can't make change if you don't make actionable steps, if you don't show the work, if you don't show to someone that you truly mean what you say. I can tell you I'm sorry 100 times over and never make any change, and then hurt you over and over and over again. And what does that accomplish? It hurts. It does more and more damage, and you didn't fucking change. So never be too prideful to learn the lesson and understand what it may take to do the actionable change. And then work through your fears. Yes, it takes great strength to be vulnerable. It takes great strength to be honest and full of integrity. Thank you, Spirit. No matter who tries to change your mindset, who tries to throw shade your way or embarrass you or humiliate you or shame you, it doesn't matter. Honoring your integrity and honoring yourself and your beliefs and your core values, yes, it can create fear. But once we move through that, the energy gains momentum, right? It creates for other people. Thank you, Spirit. I'm not even getting the thoughts out, and they're already confirming it. It creates a space where, you're allowing yourself to be vulnerable. You're making that change, and then the people in your circle, the people around you, the people that deal with you, sometimes just walking by you, those people, they see the change. You actually are creating the change, and it's happening. So it's going to gain momentum because you're planting seeds. Thank you, Spirit, with your actions and the things that you're doing. Even in the smallest of ways, even when they don't recognize it, till that's already growing. And that's even better. When they don't even recognize till it's already growing, and you're just growing love in these people, and they're sowing the seeds, and they don't even know they're sowing it because they're so just, they don't even know. It's just an automatic thing. That means you sowed that seed deep. Thank you, Spirit. That means you got deep down to their soul, and you hit them where it hurt, and you hit them where it mattered. And now everything they do is they're speaking life into, and they're sowing those seeds. And we have a crop full of amazement and wonderful things and miracles. And then that's when we have to understand we take only what we need. Okay, we don't take more. We don't. 144 on the clock. Thank you, God. Thank you. We don't have to just rape the fields because we have this available to us. Okay, we take what we need. Okay, and we leave the rest for others. Right? We share so that others can also become encompassed in this love and in this feeling and this helping each other. And when we leave enough, that means there's always enough for everybody. Nobody goes without. And that's my goal. Truly, thank you, Spirit. That truly is my goal. I want to see everybody win, not one person. And I don't want to win ever stepping on somebody else's toes or their back or trying to shame or humiliate somebody, because that's not what I'm about. I want to cheer you on just as much as I want, to see people cheer me on or to cheer myself on, right? Like, I don't compare. I don't want to compete. I don't, I want to love you and celebrate you and congratulate you every time you do well. And I think we should all be like that. So when we understand that we only take what we need, we leave the rest for everyone else, and then what we learn we share. So not only are we not abusing the crop and the harvest, we're sharing it, we're leaving it for everyone else, and then we're constantly planting new seeds so that nobody's ever gonna starve, right? And that's my biggest goal. And thank you, Spirit. I know I talk a lot. So if there's anything good, there's that. Some people might not think it's so good, but I'm proud of it because, especially now when I'm talking, sometimes even when I don't know how to explain or articulate all the answers, Spirit really puts it on my system. They put it on my brain and my heart and every part of my being. Thank you, Spirit. Until I say it and until I speak it out, and they give me the courage to do it and not allow it to be a sense of fear or shame or humiliation. They allow me to be vulnerable because they know I've survived everything else, and they've built that confidence up with my literal expertise of surviving all of the shit and being happy and loving and no ill intent in my heart. Thank you, Spirit. They taught me what an expert I am, literally, and it's okay to take pride in that, and it's okay to share it because we want everyone to be an expert in showing up for themselves and loving themselves. So anybody that showed up and stayed and stuck around for a little bit, I truly appreciate you. If you want to know more about my story or the things going on in my life, I posted all the videos. Like I said, when it comes to me, you get the good, the bad, the ugly, no matter what. I have to go get my daughter now. I really did enjoy this, and I felt really, really, really tapped in with Spirit. Spirit was making sure I understood that I was doing what was right. So I thank you all for showing up, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you back tomorrow morning. And if I get time tonight and things are calm, I might come on and do a little bit of readings or collective or something just to check in, because I like doing that too. So, okay, Mackenzie, I gotta go. I gotta go get Grace. But I love you guys, and I will see you again tomorrow morning, and maybe this evening. We'll see if people are asking for readings or not. And then I'll come on, okay? Bye. If I can actually shut this thing off.